Hypocrisy.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Law-Splaining the Interwebs. I am your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota. How's it going? How's it going? I'll probably have to deal with this a million times tonight. I know that Joe got struck while live. I know. I'm aware. I'm aware. Yes, I have sent him an invite. He has not currently responded to me or my invite. I'm sure he is busy dealing with whatever. But I know, okay? I know. And I know I'm going to hear 5,000 times in the first hour that Joe got struck, and I need to have him on. I know. I sent him a message immediately when he got struck, 10:47 p.m. As soon as I saw. So it looks like a copyright issue for him. I don't know the details. Heard he was streaming SNL and he was streaming a Trump speech as well earlier. So if you do that on YouTube, they will fuck you. You can't, like, they have an auto detection system that doesn't give a shit about your fair use. They'll deal with fair use later. They'll deal with fair use on the back end when you get to appeal it and prove your fair use. In the middle, during your live stream or whatever, they will just shut you down no matter what. Like, that's the policy. So, you know, it's that's part of the platform. That's part of the platform. The video says misinformation. Oh, then it could be, maybe it's Trump's comments about the maybe it was Trump's comments about the election. Either way, doesn't really matter, does it? Let's see what it says. I'll pull it up here. Spam, deceptive practices, and scams for Joe. Yeah, so he's getting that good. Here it is. We'll pull it up. We'll pull it up. This is Joe's link, or Joe's screen, I guess, right here. So here we go. Spam, deceptive practices, and scams. Let's see. Video spam, content that is excessively posted, repetitive, or untargeted and does one or more of the following: misleading metadata or thumbnails, scams, cash gifts, get-rich-quick schemes, pyramid schemes, incentivizing spam, comment spam, comments where the sole purpose is to gather personal info from viewers, misleading, drive viewers off YouTube, or perform any of the prohibited behaviors noted above. None of that has to do with spam, so that's weird. Live streams intended to stream content that belongs to somebody else and are not corrected after repeated warnings of possible abuse. Channel owners should actively monitor their live streams and correct any potential issues in a timely manner. So this is the one it's going to be right here. Live stream abuse is going to be the reason. And the reason is he was streaming something from a no-no company like NBC. You cannot stream a no-no company that has a big enough subscriber base and a contract with YouTube. Those companies will be the ones they get the in. They get the in. Content ID, active content ID monitoring for live streams. I was dealing with that a couple times during some of my trial coverage over on YouTube. People asked, well, why don't you just use the law and crime feed and fuck them or whatever? Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. Fuck them. Except they'll shut you down in real time. Like, and law and crime did. They did. I'd get the warning thing pop up, and when that happens, you have to change the stream or whatever. So it's just the way it goes. You can't do that. Hey, so Joe is talking about it right now, apparently.
Deceptive practice or scam. Is that what you were told? They said I was infringing on things. Were there any more?
Hold on. Let me send him a thing.
Thank you, Aussie Overlord, for your support.
Oh, wait. I don't know if this show pulls up my credit card.
Guy says, your first strike, some would say this is your barred mitzvah, chin up champ. Today you are a man. I've gotten a strike before, but they come off after 90 days. DV Devation says, much love to you and your family, Joe. We are with you in my house. Well, thank you. And Nick sent me an invite.
Yep. Hold on, Joe. Don't leave yet.
This is when I need Nick to actually have his following of 500,000 people from Twitter. He would like retweet it. Next thing you know, it would be like retweet like 1,000 times.
Here we go. I just sent it to him. So good. Let's see what he says.
Yeah, I should wrap up here anyway. I mean, in his time. I'm in his time, and I covered the areas that I wanted to cover. And
we'll see. Joe, read my chat.
I'm going to try and stream here. I don't know. I'm going to see what's going to happen. I'll alert you. Goodlogic.locals.com. Goodlogic.locals.com. What do I got here? Okay, look, get on my show, you weirdo. I'll explain your strike, and then we can drink and scream like idiots.
There we go.
Still, Joe. We're talking about your Rekieta's live chat on Locals now, spreading the word about what just happened. Well, thank you. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. All right, I'll pop in. Let me go. Drain the snake and do what I got to do.
Yeah. We're gonna get an angry Joe.
I'll pop on in on your channel soon. All right. So there you go. Thank you.
Not Nick. Like the stupid angry Joe, the good angry Joe. Angry Joe logic.
If you want to check me out, I'm gonna be over on Rekieta Law. Hit the Rumble thing, because apparently on Rumble,
still
hit the
calls
plus
me
thing. Apparently
Rekieta.
Rumble really helps. So if you can hit that thing on your way out,
still calls me Rekieta. Here we go.
I'm probably going to stream. We'll see what's going to happen. Look on Locals. Check Locals. Hit Locals. It's down below in the description. I urge you, please sign up on Locals.
It's down in the description. Really, it's also right here. It's also right here.
But this way you'll know where
for everybody,
especially over the next
all
week,
the time,
when I have no idea if and when I'm going to get back on YouTube. Till later, my friends. I'm going to go drinking with Nick right now, so you probably should be over there. Take care. Godspeed.
Okay. There we go. My man Joe, they came first. They came for the Jew. Oh, shit. I guess that was it then. Okay. Well, welcome to the YouTube. Welcome to the YouTube. Welcome to the Rumble Show. And Odyssey, of course, the Odyssey show as well. You aren't subbed to Joe. What kind of friend are you? I didn't even know that he had a Rumble channel. I didn't even know he was there. So I'll remedy that at some point. But anyway, so this is actually good. We'll let's see. They're going in descending nose size. You obviously had a bigger nose. So tonight this is perfect. Thanks, Joe. I was just trying to have something to cover tonight other than Darrell Brooks, because we went through the Darrell Brooks live stream of the witness statements, the victim impact statements. And it was super depressing to watch earlier today. It's watching trials is a lot of fun, but you get reminded for victim impact that there's a real person behind the tragedy. And so that's, it's a reminder. Even when you're a lawyer in court, it's the same thing, because you approach your case file and you get to know your client. And as a defense attorney, a lot of times you get very sympathetic to your client. The government's coming down on them. They're facing all this trouble, whatever. You hear their explanations, you advocate on their behalf. And by the end of it, you're kind of like, I've kind of gotten to know this person, and they're like almost not like a friend, but you view them a little more positively than just a criminal, right? And then you get to the victim impact statements, and suddenly you're reminded that, I mean, despite whoever you've gotten to know, what they did had a real impact on somebody. And that impact is never easy. Well, I mean, I guess if it's like a misdemeanor, it could be pretty easy. It could be just, like, and then he took my watch and the police got it back for me. And I couldn't tell time. 3 days. Like, that's not that big of an impact statement. But when the impact statement is, he ran over my child and I remembered hearing their bones crunch, you're like, Jesus. Okay. I mean, he was a funny sovereign citizen idiot for a little while, and now shit just got really real. So that's horrifying. But yeah, it's that was kind of depressing. So I thought we'll find some stuff to laugh at, maybe yell at tonight. I don't know how long we're gonna go. The story of my death every time is I don't know how long we're gonna go, but I genuinely didn't know how long we were gonna go. I thought maybe we'll do a short show, maybe we'll do Twitch. I don't know, because I'll be doing the rest of the sentencing hearing tomorrow, starting at noon, and uh I'll be doing the rest of it, tomorrow at noon, and so it's like, yeah, who knows what would happen? Who knows what the night brings? Well, now it's the night of long knives or whatever. I think, is that how that goes? I don't know. How many horrific analogies to Nazism can we make today? We probably shouldn't. Joe's probably not really feeling that kind of joke today, because it is frustrating and stressful, because that's a week. That's a week now that he'll be out, unless we can get YouTube to overturn it, and they really should. And by the way, it worked for Megan Fox, so it can work for Joe as well. So we're gonna get him to tweet that shit. I'm gonna grab the tweet. I'm gonna share it on YouTube. We're gonna put the fucking message out. We're gonna get this stuff going. And we're gonna let's see if we can get Papa Joe back onto YouTube, because it's not as easy to it's not easy to build an audience on Rumble. It's really not. And so you gotta kind of bring the audience with you. And sometimes you have to grab them right by the edge of their dick and pull as hard as you fucking can. Speaking of that, every show is brought to you by my locals chat, rekietalaw.locals.com. For a mere $5 a month, you can get into the locals chat. You can enjoy all sorts of weird, degenerate conversations and silliness, sometimes very serious conversations as well. But there's 24/7 a live chat running. It's kind of like the old AOL chat rooms. Anything goes for the most part. You have pretty much free speech for jokes and whatever you want to say, and it's a lot of fun. And the reason I said, speaking of that, is there were women in the chat. I know there's a few, even though they're fake, they're actually men, but there were women in the chat the other day saying, why do tall, skinny guys have a long penis, but like a really small ass? And like, I know the answer to this. It's because every time God makes a tall, skinny guy, because God's a little gay sometimes, he grabs their penis and pulls it like a balloon, and it just, like the end of a balloon, and it just sucks the ass in. That's why. That's why that happens. It's just, I don't know. But that's science. So just so you know, that these are the kind of intellectual conversations you get when you mix the genders in a chat room. And when they say that men and women should be separated and segregated from the workplace or whatever, well, now you know why. Now you know why. Because if that same conversation happened in a workplace, all of the men would be fired, and then all the women would be lonely. Okay. There we go. There we go. Ryan Hin 3 Gan says the Jews got Joe. Get good logic on ASAP. Music and fiction. Nick, since tonight is a fun night, I'm in need of a writer shaming. I'm at 17,500 words out of 50,000 by the end of the month and could use some love from the Grift Lord. Hashtag shame away. Oh, you're running low on words? Music and fiction? You need to get to 50,000 words? What, did Trump take all the good ones, the good words, the best words, and you were left with rabble and rubbish? Nothing? 50,000 words? I spit 50,000 words every day, and they're wonderful, better words than you've ever heard. I don't know why you can't. Maybe you just don't have the ability, the talent, nothing. What, why don't you just sit down and type? Have you tried that? Or are you too busy eating the words? Maybe that's the problem. You're too busy eating the words and you bloated yourself up so your hands can't reach the keyboard because they're trying to get over your gullet. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. Why don't you try harder? Why don't you rotate your fat self forward so you're over the keyboard with your little T-Rex arms and start pecking away till you get some words. Just write building 7 25,000 times. And then you got your 50 words. It's the best essay you got. Squizgar2322. Wait, Joe doesn't have like some cousins or nephews running things at YouTube that can help him. I mean, they are a media outlet of sorts. Speaking of Joe, is he ready? Are you ready, Joe? Well, you were like shifting around. What's up, buddy?
Yo.
Why do you get a strike?
Hebrew Hammer in the house. Like, move over, Ryan Braun. You stink. You're like Hebrew, like Hebrew, like I don't know, like fist. I'm Hebrew Hammer now. There you go.
So you just got fisted by YouTube.
Yes, rather so. And no lube. They just reached right up and did their business.
Were you live streaming Saturday Night Live?
I was. What makes you say what? How did you know?
My chat told me.
Oh,
my chat told me, and I was like, "Okay, so Joe, I'm gonna show you a policy from YouTube." Hold on, where did it go? Did I close this? Where was it? Am I dumb? Did I close this thing? I don't think so. No, here we go. So you got hit for spam, deceptive practices, and scams, right? Which you obviously weren't doing any of those things, but nestled deep in that policy is this right here. Live stream abuse. Live streams intended to stream content that belongs to somebody else are not corrected after repeated warnings of possible abuse. Yeah, that's where they got you, Joe. That's where they got you.
So what happened was they sent me a warning. They interrupted my stream.
Yep. I heard.
Oh, so you know the story. So this is like
but I heard, but not everybody heard.
All right. Yeah. So what happened was I was streaming. So first I started my stream early tonight because I wanted to do a live reaction to the Trump speech. So
how'd you like that?
I thought it was low energy.
That's what I heard too. And I was watching it. I only got through half of it, and I was like, "This is really low energy."
It was boring.
Do you think he's gonna cop out of the 2024 run? Is he gonna do the Rekieta play, the Rekieta switcheroo?
What is the Rekieta? I didn't know. Are you infamous for this?
No, I can't. Well, I've said that this is what I think the Republicans should do for the presidency in 2024.
Oh yeah, I saw your whole thing, and I agreed with how you win an election.
But
I mean, I think, you're talking about like how to actually like campaign. Is that what you're talking about?
I'm talking about how Trump will act like he's running. He'll run ostensibly. He'll pick a fight with DeSantis. He won't go too hard. DeSantis will stay above it. Trump will actually pull a switcheroo, endorse DeSantis, let DeSantis run with the party. And after Trump takes a whole shitload of heat from the media leading up to it, DeSantis comes off kind of clean coming into out of the primaries.
And this way, they can't say he's worse than Trump. He's the anti-Trump.
And it kind of unites the party under DeSantis because Trump, for as much as, you know, a lot of people like him, there are a good group of people in the Republican Party who kind of don't want to deal with him and will stay home. And so you
Yeah.
put DeSantis in there, and he's like just not Trump enough to pull in a bunch of people and do it. That's you think it's ridiculous. We'll see. I don't think Trump will do it. I think Trump
it's
should
ridiculous
do it.
given the nature of Donald Trump.
Yeah, I don't think Trump will do it. I think
Okay.
he should do it. I think DeSantis would win the presidency hands down.
My perspective on Trump is very mixed. I think he was easily, and it's not even close, the greatest president of my lifetime, which is more than 5 decades, including Reagan, and arguably
There you go again.
in living memory, arguably like in anyone's lifetime. I can't think of, like, Kennedy. What the hell did he do? When you look at, and I'm focusing exclusively on the policies that he put forward, the results of those policies, and everything that he did as president was exceptional. And his tweets, I understand they were abrasive at times, unnecessarily.
Yeah, but you know me, I don't give a shit about that.
Right. I know you don't, but the reality is, in the political climate, that is gonna, it's gonna draw some heat.
Yep.
And the media was completely unfair to him, and we knew they would be. He knew they would be before, but when he started running, he's calling fake news at that point. So he knew they're going to be coming after him. I don't think he ever anticipated the hate he would have from within the Republican Party, from the establishment. I think that his weaknesses as a politician, he has different weaknesses. As a politician, he has a weakness with respect to identifying the swamp. He talked about draining the swamp. We all are desperate for him to drain the swamp. I was talking to you briefly about XTF. Sorry, FTX. Why am I drawing a blank here? Yeah, FTX and that whole crypto scam, which is
the crypto stuff,
which is going to be bigger than which is potentially bigger than Enron. This scandal, and involves both wings of both red and blue of the politicals. I mean, it's just, this was a spin cycle. Those of you who are unaware of this scandal, this was a spin cycle. They took your money, your taxpayer money. Congress passed a bill to take your money and give it to Ukraine, and Ukraine became partners with FTX cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency then takes tens of millions and gives it to Democrats and to Republicans. And basically, and then the next thing you know, it's like we hear both parties. You got Crenshaw there going complete cuck neocon, and the whole left, and they'll have this whole propaganda machine saying, we have to go to war, we have to defend democracy, defend democracy, defend democracy, and we need to send money to help them because Putin's so terrible. Like, and the next thing you know, we're sending billions of dollars there, and billions are coming directly from that military aid to FTX. And then FTX says, hey, Congress, we want you to regulate us as the only regulated cryptocurrency by America in the world. So we get a monopoly on cryptocurrency. And they took your taxpayer money, and tens of millions of it ends up going to Ukraine, to FTX, and back to Congress. It's insanity. It's such a big scandal. And that's the only reason we're at war with Ukraine, on the threshold of potential World War III with what happened in Poland. And it's all because they just wanted those campaign funds to come into them. It's disgusting. It's really, really gross. And I'm sure at the end of the day, if he's not Epsteined, this guy, at the end of the day, when the prosecution comes in and goes after him, they're gonna remove
the FTX
any
guy. Bankman.
Bankman-Fried. They're gonna remove. I saw the Ghislaine Maxwell trial. I was in there.
I know how to punish that guy way worse than whatever you're going to say and whatever the feds are going to come up with.
Well, I was going to talk about his punishment. I'd love to hear the punishment you're going to recommend. I'm sure it'd be hilarious. But
it's not funny, Joe. Nothing about this is funny.
Okay.
He's forced to sleep with that CEO girlfriend of his for the rest of his life. They should actually give him his billions back. Put him on a yacht that's super luxurious, but all he can do is have sex with that goblin.
She really does look like a goblin.
She's hideous.
She's like the scary. Yeah.
I can't. I heard a cryptocurrency scam. I don't even know how to do that.
She so this really is, when they were prosecuting him, I saw the Ghislaine Maxwell trial, and they were so adept at going after her and talking about Jeffrey Epstein, and the DA, anytime there was any reference to Clinton or anything political at all, they scrubbed it. And that's what's going to happen with this. Anytime there's any reference to monies that are going to Congress, stuff like that will be scrubbed out. We're not going to.
It's prejudicial, Joe.
Yeah, of course. Very prejudicial.
Because it might sway a politically motivated juror. Even
Mhm.
if it goes both ways, it doesn't matter.
Right, of course. Of course. Anyway, so but coming back to my strike here, because let's make this about me, please.
That's what it is about.
So so I had a lot of people talking to me about how Chappelle's opening on SNL was anti-Semitic, and since I'm an Orthodox Jew, they wanted to get my feedback to it. So I said, okay, I'll watch the video, and then I'll give my feedback, my reaction to it. So after I finished with the Trump speech, I started showing that, and I was giving a lot of background history of conflicts between blacks and Jews through the ages and whatever, and why some things are more anti-Semitic than others. And when he talks about, you can't say the Jews, I talked about, and I really tried giving a very balanced perspective as to whether or not this could be deemed anti-Semitic.
And Jews.
Yeah, you can't put the two words you can't put
He
together
nailed it.
is the and Jews. Right.
See, the deep part
The
of
Jews!
that joke. The deep part of that joke is they're not together. He put
Right.
and in there is very like, I don't know if people, I know everybody does, but I don't know if people appreciate the comedic delivery. How far did you get into this before it got shut down?
I got like 14 minutes in.
Oh, that's pretty far. Yeah.
Yeah, I got 14 minutes in, and the next thing I know, Lady Logic telling me that my stream's not up. So I checked.
Does she do that often? By the way, hi, Lady Logic.
Yeah, she's waving back now. So, so bottom line is that so I got a notice saying that they're interrupting me for restreaming someone else's content, and I'm like, this is fair use. I'm literally stopping it joke by joke and breaking down which ones are anti-Semitic and which ones are not, and this is classic fair use. Like, I don't know what you could. I was like, no, I'm not going. So I was still going on Rumble, and I put the link up for my Rumble thing because I'm streaming to both, and I was like, I'm not doing anything wrong here, so I'm not stopping. If I was doing something wrong, I'd stop. But I'm not breaking any rules. I'm completely working within copyright laws. I'm not violating any terms of service from YouTube. There's nothing wrong with what I'm doing. I'm going forward. And there was only 40 seconds left of it. And
yeah,
but the final punchline was about the Jews also. So I really wanted to get all of it in and basically, really cover it. And as soon as the thing finished airing, everything got shut down. I got freaked out because when I tried going to manage my videos, I don't see any videos there. And I was like, did they nuke my channel? Like, did my
your
channel
appears to be up?
Yeah, and that's what Lady Logic was telling me. It's still there. I can't go into manage videos. When I try to manage videos, I can share with you the screen that I get when I try to manage videos.
If you want to share it, yeah.
Go ahead. I don't mind sharing that. So here, let me share this here. Yeah. How do I get in here? So present, share screen. That's what I got.
Okay, that's it. That's all you get.
When I click on manage my videos, that's what I get.
That's wild.
Yeah, that freaked me out.
Okay, if you scroll down though, isn't there a thing to like just say okay or accept or whatever?
Oh,
just hit remind me later.
See, I saw that and I just
I'll pull it down. Hit remind me later and check it out. I don't want you to.
So then okay.
Yeah, now you got everything.
Yeah.
Look, I'm a professional at getting struck by YouTube by this point.
Yeah. Should you give me advice on like what I should write to like object to this whole thing?
Do you think your appeal is going to matter?
I feel like I'm going to Charlie Crist for like advice on how to run a campaign. So
no,
it's like
I'll tell you. I can tell you how to be.
You tried this and you're like 0 for 3, and the other guy I'm going to. I'm like, yeah, walk me through it. You got this. You're the expert.
I'm really good on copyright strikes, actually. Copyright stuff. I win all the time. I'll show you exactly what to do through the app. Okay, we'll do this copyright counter notification and requirements for copyright counter notification. So I'll put the link in our private chat for this so you have it for later. Or no, I'll text it to you so you have it for later, because just in case this thing gets shut down for reference. But let me share my screen and I'll show you this is the most critical thing of this entire process, okay? No
Mhm.
matter what else you write, this 2 paragraphs have to be copied and pasted into your dispute. You have to have those 2 things in there.
Really?
Yes. I filed the exact same dispute without that and with that, and you win well, you have a better chance of winning when you put that in. If it's the exact same, you win, and then you don't win. So you have to have these 2 statements in there. And it's weird because these statements are actually implied in the form that you fill out and
Mhm.
the things that you like, the boxes that you enter into. You have to put this in there. So first thing, put those in there. I take the quotes off the beginning and end of each one because it's
Right.
weird, but put that in there. And then, of course, you just simply say, uh, during a live stream, I made a good faith, fair use evaluation. I passed all 4 factors because I was significantly changing and transforming the content by adding commentary, critique, and criticism to what was going on. This doesn't impact the market. It's a different nature of work. One is a comedy sketch. One is political commentary about the ongoing dispute between 2 racial groups. Put
Right.
all that shit in there. Give yourself a basic 4-factor analysis of good faith, fair use. But most importantly, say, I have a good faith, fair use exception to this. This is new content. This is not something else. I am actually entitled to copyright protection as this is a new work. This is not merely a reshowing or end run around the old work's rights. Also, the content holder, this is what I would put in this one because this happened in real time and algorithmically, and that's critical, okay? Because there was no good faith, fair use review of this. And under Lens versus Universal Media Group, they must perform a good faith, fair use review before actually issuing a copyright strike. So I would put in there, under the Ninth Circuit's ruling in Lens versus Universal Media,
Jesus, am I taking notes here?
I can tell you all this whenever you decide to do it, but
Okay.
I'm doing this for the audience too,
Right.
specifically because of this one. So Lens versus Universal Media Group was about a mom who had taken a little video of her toddler dancing right in the kitchen, and in the background, a Prince song was playing. I think it was like When Doves Cry or whatever.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter, but a Prince song is playing in the background, and Universal Media Group, boom, strikes her video, even though that has nothing to do with the content of the video. But the worst thing was it was struck by a robot. An algorithm made the strike. There was no good faith, fair use analysis, and they admitted to that in court. When that came out in court, the judge not only ruled in favor of the mom, but the judge also ordered fees in favor of the mom, which happens very rarely in copyright cases because they didn't even do the review to see if the strike was valid. And under the Copyright Act, they have a duty under fair use to perform that good faith, fair use analysis. They can be completely wrong in it. They can suck at it.
Mhm.
They can be intentionally bad.
There has to be an effort.
There has to be a good faith effort of some sort. And that's going to be depending on the defendant. So in this case, there was no one at NBC monitoring your stream doing a good faith, fair use analysis. So I would say under Lens versus Universal Media Group, the content or the copyright holder is required under the Copyright Act to perform a good faith, fair use analysis. And there is no way that while my stream was still going, that was actually performed. This was removed by an algorithm that is improper and that is against U.S. jurisprudence or precedent or however you want to word it. You know how to word shit. You're a lawyer.
Right.
That's how I would approach this problem. And I bet that if you file that claim properly, that this is one of those strikes that should go away pretty quickly because it's copyright related. It's not content related. And you have a pretty strong good faith, fair use claim, mainly on the fucking transformative nature of the work, because
Right.
obviously you're not doing a comedy show.
Mhm.
Like you're doing analysis of racial tension.
I mean,
So,
yeah, I try to turn it a little bit into a comedy show.
I mean,
Otherwise, no
jokes are
one's gonna watch. Yeah,
yeah,
but
but jokes are not. You're not doing a stand-up show. You're not broadcasting Dave Chappelle's stand-up on SNL and then doing live sketch comedy.
If I was a family of black kids just watching it and laughing, that would be considered sufficiently transformative. I've seen videos like I know a channel like that's got like 500,000 subs, 1,000,000 subs on it. Every video they do gets 200,000, and they literally don't even pause it. They're just sitting there laughing the entire time, and that's considered transformative. And yeah, I was stopping this thing every sentence and analyzing the last joke as to like whether or not it's anti-Semitic. I mean, it's ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous. So you're right. There was zero. It's not like there was a good faith or bad faith effort. There was zero effort. This was a computer algorithm, which basically struck me. I'm wondering. I mean, I really feel like I'm entitled to damages that I could have. It caught. I mean, I'm the one entitled to damages because they shut my stream down wrongly. Like that's a wrongful termination of my stream. I'm in the middle of like earning my day's pay. And the next thing you know, I lose out on being able to stream. I suspected it might have been you who filed it because I went past the midnight time. So
Yes.
I was like, oh yeah, man. Okay, here he is. Like a couple of times, I went to like 12:30 or so. He noticed it's really bothering him. So now, I mean, I made it 14 minutes in. But boom, 12:02 a.m. All of a sudden, bam, there's my notice. Bam.
I was trying to get you to 14 minutes and 88 seconds, but it just didn't work, Joe. It just didn't work. No, it's
if they didn't shut me down, I could have made $6 million.
I said I wasn't going to do this tonight. Damn you, Rumble. It's too tempting, Joe. It's too tempting.
What? What? I don't understand.
Being on Rumble, you get to make any joke. So it's too tempting to make every joke. I actually legitimately have to restrain myself. It's not good. It's not good. I've gone too far.
Yeah. You're flying too close to the sun now.
That's okay. At least it's warm. But okay, so we need to know you've got a tweet out there, right?
I do have a tweet out there. Yeah, there's a golden tweet out there, which basically is free good logic.
Yes, I'm gonna.
You can find the free good logic hashtag. So,
I'm banned off of Twitter, but what I can do is this.
What about your secret Twitter account?
I don't have one. I legitimately don't have one.
Wow.
I stay off of Twitter because I don't want to build up another one, even a secret one, then have it destroyed too. I'm just waiting for Elon to be less of a loser. And I actually like Elon and what he's doing. I just want him to pick up let's get some amnesty, motherfuckers. So here we go. I can do this. Oh,
that's cool.
Here we go. Because I heard you. Oh, I wish Nick had his 500,000 followers.
I was like, YouTube would notice wind of this. Team YouTube would get wind of this in like 30 seconds if Nick hadn't got himself yeeted. So
good friend, good logic has been wrongfully struck by the copyright cucks over at, is it NBC?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
You want to check real quick on your?
It's Saturday Night Live. What could it be? You want me to? Whether it's the official owners of the thing? Yeah, I can check that out for you.
Yeah, just double check the active strike or the copyright claim. It should tell you.
I have all these comments on my Rumble thing. It's hard for me.
Here we go. I'll tag them at NBC.
Yeah,
it's just NBC. I'm guessing.
Yeah, I didn't tag NBC.
NBC has less than 1 million subscribers. God, it's really embarrassing. Like NBC News has 7.2 million, but NBC itself has 926,000. Like how are you NBC?
I don't know where I see who it was that did it.
Can I share your screen for a second and I'll tell you?
Yeah,
Is that okay?
I don't care. Hold on a second. I got to move this thing over to the screen I'm sharing. So okay. I think you should have it here.
Yeah. Can I pull it up now?
Oh, let me make sure. And you? Yeah, that's it.
Okay, yeah. Look at your content or whatever.
Let me look at my content. This may be an issue.
Should say, just click begin review. You can cancel this thing. So scroll down.
Next.
Next, yeah.
I don't want to do this.
Okay, yeah. Don't do that. Never mind. It won't. It's not going to say because it's not actually through the copyright system, but it doesn't matter. Copyright cucks over at NBC, at YouTube. Do they have a team YouTube?
Yeah, it is. They have it on YouTube.
They don't have a team YouTube on YouTube.
There you go.
At YouTube, applied a strike for what was obviously transformative content. This is against Ninth Circuit precedent set by Lens versus Universal. This should be reversed immediately. If any of you lovable weirdos still have a Twitter, hit this. Whoops, too many spaces. Hit this link and give Joe a retweet.
I'm at Nearman Joe on Twitter, by the way.
But I've got the link to your tweet in there.
Oh, okay, cool.
Give Joe a quote tweet tagging at Team YouTube to let them know they done effed up. There we go. We'll post that bad boy. That is something I can do. If I was on Twitter, of course, I would signal boost it there. But
you're cool. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, brother.
Yeah, man. It's bullshit. I hate this stuff. They make it so hard. It's like YouTube has this beautiful thing. It's called all of the money and almost all of the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're like, come over here. It's like that pie in a like cartoon, you know, and you're like, oh, it's in the window, right? And like you're floating to it. That's YouTube. Every day you're like, oh God, I just want to go over there and make all the money and it'd be great. And then you try and they just have this cumbersome system that constantly fists you over and over and over again over nothing. And it's like, why do you make it hard for me to do this? Why do you make it hard to just make you money and make me money? Why is that? Why?
Yeah. No, it's like they have a dog that basically like is just constantly, it's like one of those wrong height dogs that's always like just lurching at your crotch. It's just and just snapping its mouth. It's just ow. No one wants that. No one wants this.
How often does this happen to you, Joe?
You know, I actually I'm notorious since my childhood for getting like a picture in my head, and sometimes I'll get a whole visual of a scene in my head, and what comes out in public is just the final line of the in my head, which to me is a funny joke, but no one has the context, and everyone else is like looking at me like,
no, I liked it.
And it happened in this exact sort of way. Once I was once at a party. There was a lot of guys and girls there, and someone was introduced to me, and I was talking to her a little bit, and she was just a woman who was just and always complaining about a real Karen. This is long before anyone ever came up with the term Karen. Just constantly complaining and sniping whatever, and I sort of like, as soon as she was talking, I was picturing like in the Flintstones. You know how like in the Flintstones, like, you know, the dog is always chasing after him and he runs off screen, and then you hear the bite sound like doink, and then you see the dog marching in with like the ripped underwear from like, you know, he like got through his clothing, like bit his underwear and then marched off. So like when I pictured her, I pictured like Dino the dog just sort of like biting and just successfully getting that underwear and whatever. So someone said to me, hey, have you met, I don't remember her name is, you know, Ida, whatever. And I was like, met her? I already have the ripped underwear to prove it. And everyone just sort of looked at me like, what? And I'm like, you know, because the Flintstones and like
that joke didn't land the way you thought it was going to land.
And I was like, I thought it was hilarious. I was like, met her? I already have the ripped underwear to prove it. And like, it was just like, and I'm like, because, you know, no. Yeah. So yeah, I'm very familiar with like my brain being too far ahead of my mouth. And then when my mouth is trying to catch up,
of course I met her. I have the ripped underwear to show it. Well, sir, we would like to talk to you over here in handcuffs, please. Jesus God. Oh, that's
Yeah.
good. That's
So
good.
anyway,
So what else is happening, man?
um, uh, I've been bleeding subs. I've been
Oh,
talking. I've been
no,
talking.
everybody is right now, I think. Or well, I am. I'm heavy. Every video post, it's like, oh, here, let me get rid of subs for you.
Yeah, yeah. I think mine though is because I've gotten like more. I spent a bunch of months being like bridging the gap, bridge the gap, bridge the gap, and look at things from both sides and whatever. And after the election, and everyone talking about abortion, I spent 2 nights basically walking through why pro-choice is moronic and evil, and going through every argument that the pro-choice people make and just breaking it down. And I even said, like, before I did my second one, I was like, in case you think I'm doing this to make money, I'm not, because A, these streams get no super chats, and B, I know that I'm going to lose subs from this because people will hear me say this and they're not going to be happy with my opinion. But I think that this is important, that people understand all the flaws and the illogical arguments that are presented by the pro-choice movement, and where those holes are. Because if you don't know what the counter arguments are, you start thinking to yourself, oh, okay, you know what, why should I weigh in on this? Why should the government be in the doctor's office? And all these stupid, moronic, idiotic arguments that have easy responses to them. And I was like, people need to be equipped for this, because this debate is going to be coming up a lot more in the wake of Dobbs, and they need to understand why it is that this is just thoroughly illogical. And the whole pro-choice thing is purely women who don't want to face up to the difficult challenge of raising a child. And it's a very difficult challenge. It's a really hard challenge, but they're trying to say that
Tough job.
that changes the morality. It's a very hard job. It's a really
Yeah.
hard job, but especially if you're not expecting it or prepared for it or looking for it, and then you know it's going to affect your career, and all these different justifications for basically pretending that they're not killing millions of babies in a womb. And while I say it's not a human, but you know what? It's the nearest thing to a human you can possibly have.
Why
It's
is it not a human?
because you know what? You can't tell me when it's like if it's depending on what stage you're talking at. I'm not talking about late term abortions.
Have
I'm
you met
saying
Fetterman?
I don't know if he's human, so he could be like the missing link
you
we've
get
been searching
demoted?
for like. No, but I'm saying is like depending on the stage of development that it's at. Look, you can make the argument when it comes to like the embryonic stage, but yeah, whatever. I don't know if you want to start getting into this, because it's a conversation that it's so far from funny that it's like, this is
Okay, how
what
about
I
this?
learned. You don't know how much I study you. Okay, I'm going to tell your audience. No, he really doesn't
No
know.
wonder my ass tingles all the time.
I literally study him in like any place that I can sort of figure out how to up my streaming, up my game, up my thing. I literally study in just basic conversations where it's just the two of us talking. I'd be like, why did he ask that question? That's the first thing he asked me. I had someone who asked me, and I don't know if you ever follow up on this. He asked me to follow up with you to see if you ever spoke to some guy named Barry who was going to come on your show. And I sent you a text message. We had a conversation. If you look in our text chat, you'll see.
I believe you.
I sent a screenshot, and and basically it was a guy who was dealing with a certain situation. I don't remember what it was about. It was like 3 or 4 weeks ago. And the first question that Nick asked me was, is he funny? And I was like, that's such a weird question. And I was like, no, that totally makes sense. That totally makes sense.
Oh my gosh. I had this guy on a long time ago. His whole store got just shut down. And his store was called Crypto Fashion.
Mm-hmm.
And which is a play on crypto fascism. But it was kind of a joke.
Mm-hmm.
So he made t-shirts for people who would have trouble, like not because of the content of the shirt, but because of the content creator themselves might have trouble like getting platformed by Teespring or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So he basically ran a merch store. Let's see, Vox Day, for example. He had Vox Day. Was the guy he made the store for initially, and then expanded out to host some other people. My friend Ethan Van Sciver was on there, even though he's friendly enough to be on pretty much any platform. He just was like, oh, I'll be on here. I'll make some shirts. And then his store gets completely shut down by Square or whatever, Shopify. I don't remember which exact services. It didn't matter. And so it's like, okay, perfect. Guy who's canceled. He's involved with all of these people that I'm talking with at the time. Like, and so this will be perfect tie-in. He comes on for the most dull, like 2 hours of my entire life. Joe, I would have rather have been having my teeth busted by screwdrivers. I'm sitting
So
there and I'm like,
I'm reading even into the Gospels of Nick in ways that you're not even intending. You're just thinking of one terrible traumatic experience you had, and you're like, "Is he funny?" And I said, "I really don't know." I never spoken to the guy. I asked the other person who recommended it, and he basically said, "Yeah, he's funny." So I sent that back to you. You're like, "Oh, okay, I'll have him on."
are you
So
familiar with Salt Bay?
no, what is that?
He's like he's a Persian chef, and he's the guy who always, like, he makes these really ridiculous cuts of meat, and then he always sprinkles the salt and it like bounced off his elbow down onto the steaks. You've
Okay.
probably seen a meme of him doing this and sprinkling
Oh
salt
yeah,
on.
yeah.
That's Salt Bay. His restaurant costs like insane amounts of money to eat at. He might be in the Emirates even. Like, so way high end dining, which is probably just slightly above mediocre anyway. But so so let's say you're at a restaurant and or you're asking someone like, what would you want to eat? What would you want to eat? They're like, a steak. And I'm gonna get you what is recognized like the best steak on earth. We're going to Salt Bay right now. He's gonna soak this shit in butter. Boiling butter is gonna cook your steak, and then he's gonna sprinkle salt off that magical Turkish elbow, and it's gonna fall down, and you're gonna be like, this is the best steak. And you get there, and after all that, and you like, yeah, you order this $1,500 steak, and it comes to the table, and the guy's like, I'm a vegetarian. I only eat asparagus. That was the entire interview. Like, everything I ask or say to this guy, every joke, every lobbed pitch over the plate, he's just like,
that thing.
I have a tennis racket. I don't even know what to do. It's like, yeah, how do you suck the life out of everything?
Oh my
It was
God.
such a horribly painful interview.
Oh
It was
my
like,
God.
God. So if I'm gonna interview someone, like, look, you're gonna be on camera in front of thousands of people, and I'm gonna give you a bunch of time. Can you engage it a little bit? Like,
Right.
that's
Give me
what I wanna
something to
know.
work with. You don't even have to be funny. Just don't bleed everything out. Don't like I don't want to see like your tears all over the floor, like you're sitting there huddled in a massive, oh my girlfriend just left me. It's like I just can't deal with this. I can't. Yeah, so I took from what you said that every show that I go into, I should think to myself, where am I going to find a humorous element in this? And that's not even what you were saying. You were just like,
No, but
don't
that's
crush
right.
2 hours of my life. And I literally changed the way I like approach my programming, where I'm like, you know what? I need to find some element of funny to bring in here, just so that people have something that they can take away. That like I had a good time and I laughed, I learned something, whatever, even if it's a more serious episode. And I never really thought about it before until you asked me that question. And it was just like, why is he asking that question? And that's what I took from it, even though you're thinking, oh God, please don't let this guy suck on me. Like,
No, it's the right lesson though. Like, that is the lesson, but it wasn't teaching you. It was just me going,
protecting yourself. You weren't
I
teaching
just
me, you were
don't
protecting yourself.
I don't know if I want to talk to this person, because it's, man, you've done it, I'm sure, several times where you have someone on and it's just like, you're like, come on,
Right.
please, just anything, please, just anything.
Yeah.
For the love of God, say anything. And they just won't. They just won't. And you're dying because you don't want to like just throw them off, even though you
Right.
should. Like,
Right.
rightly, that would be that'd be personal justice. Like,
I call that headache
yeet.
legal mindset. So, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I love him. I love
Mhm.
legal mindset. No, I've actually said I have him. We weekly like alternate. That's
I know.
I chose him because everyone would know that could not really be legitimate, because
Okay.
I
It's just an
specifically have a
interesting
weekly setup
choice,
with him. But
given
given
lately, given all of you weirdos and your
oh
incessant desire
oh
to
my God.
exacerbate and
Oh my
fan the
God.
flames
No,
of
no, no.
drama. Come on,
No.
Joe. Come on, Joe.
Whoa!
Don't
No,
you
no,
dare.
hold on a
Don't you
second.
do this to me, Joe.
Hold on a second. Let me be clear. I just expressed just yesterday how I'm very proud of the fact that I managed to skirt around every major drama without that. I'm always around it, and it's never really involving me. That it's like, even though like all of a sudden I'll just see things coming. I was joking about you because that whole thing that happened with like Farron Legal Mindset and Branca and that Datamax. I was like, if you watch that video from like Farron's stream, the one guy who no one's really talking about who was there is Nick. And the entire time he's literally like this. It's like almost like he has the headphones on, but he's not listening to them. It's like he's listening to like some music, and it's like Night at the Roxbury the entire
Literally
time.
am.
And the entire time he's like, and I'm like, what is he dancing to? It's like you know, Bronca's like, you take that back, you son of a, you call me that, and you're like.
Joe.
like seriously, like I pictured like, I don't know, Will Ferrell's gonna come out there and just start like doing the whole like Night at the Roxbury. Like you're gonna flip up your collar.
You gotta have your soundtrack going in your mind, otherwise you're tempted to talk, Joe. Sometimes you gotta let that shit go.
Oh my god, that was great.
No, I'm good. You guys are fine. You keep going. I've got 6 minutes left. I said that was the worst because I'm like, hey guys, I'm leaving in 14 minutes because I gotta get over to.
And that's when it started. So you're like, oh my god, I still have to hold on for another like 3.5 minutes while he's screaming, you take that back or I'll come to your house and knock your teeth out. And she's like, did you call me? Oh
and
my god.
Like, can we not do this? But all right. But no, I do place some blame at your feet.
What did I do?
I saw, Joe.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It started. You just the seeds. You're okay. Just the seeds. It's not your fault. You could never have seen it coming.
Yeah.
Or could you have seen it coming? Or did you see it coming, Joe?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
The direct stream occurs.
Okay.
And I said, I'm out of that shit. I'm staying the fuck away from that.
I am like 9 miles from that. And I did the exact opposite. I did the exact opposite. I'm like, hey,
sure did.
Hey, you cuties, why don't you come on into my stream and let's sort this sucker out.
Like,
but here's the thing.
I'm like, what is this Joe doing? What is this? What is this fucker doing? Why would he do this?
You see, this is where the student is starting to pass the master in this area here. I was like, you know what? I can walk into this this landmine riddled land and just walk on through, get them in the same room, dropping their bombs, and I can sit there with my hands behind my back, just skating along. And in the end of my stream, when all was said and done, they walked out with new respect for each other.
Oh yeah.
And everything as
carry
friends
over, didn't it?
And everything was totally fine. And everyone was like, oh my God, how the hell did Joe do that? And it's like, they thought that I was like great and that I managed to make them friends, when really it was like, no, I was just great in not getting hit by a bomb at any time throughout that entire stream. But no, it really was my ambition. I was saying to myself, you know what?
I know.
I like Farron.
Motives.
I like Andrew. I like Farron. And, you know, there's no reason to have this whole friction here. And I can basically, I can do enough to keep them each enough in check that they can actually have a dialogue, and we'll resolve this. And, you know, and I'll try and and it worked out. It worked out great. I don't think there was bad blood.
Work out great.
No, it did. It did
not.
That carryover, you know, everyone wants to. I'm going to say this. That was not a carryover from that stream. It was not a carryover at all. Because if you notice, it wasn't Branca going after Farron. I'm sure Branca still doesn't even know that was Farron's sister that he was going after. He doesn't know which girl is who. He's sitting there. He's like, I don't know what. You're another whore. You know, it's like, yeah. So he didn't know it was her sister that was the one he was butting heads with. Not that I think it would have changed anything that he said, but you know, he wasn't going after Farron. It was him, and he went after you know, Hannah and Chrissy Mayer or whatever. but like, you know, I'll tell you this. I felt bad when I was watching it.
Go
What?
ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
no. You have your thoughts.
Well, no, I want you to finish your point because I've got the follow up to all the things that you just said and why you're wrong. So that's good.
Okay. All right. So, what I would tell you is, I was actually thinking, like, when you're the host of the show in that situation where you see two of your guests going at it, that's like a very unenviable position that Farron was in. It's a very, very tough thing because you're like, if I should I intercede? Should I not? He's coming at my sister a little bit, really, you know, with some harsh terminology here, and at the same time, you know, at the same time, it is the internet. This is a show, whatever, and you sort of and every situation you can't prep for that situation because every situation is different as far as how the vibe is and how angry they are and how people are reacting to it. It's a very unenviable position. So a lot of people are judging her harshly for it, or whatever, and a lot of people are judging Branka harshly. And what I'm saying is, it was chemistry that just didn't work out, but that had nothing to do. If anything, the chemistry would have been better because of my stream, not worse, and that's why I don't know why I would be held to blame.
It's a great way to write history. I love it. It's perfect.
History's written by the victors.
So a couple things, Joe.
Okay, enlighten me.
You said, oh, this is a little bit of the student surpassing the master, right? Joe, you think I haven't done that shit before? You think you're merely adopting the grift, Joe. I was born in it. I was raised in it. I've lived it. I breathed it. It's infused into my body and my veins. I've done those streams. I've done them, Joe. I've done them many times. And I've said the same things that you have said. And I love it because you're over here like, oh no, my stream was great. They're perfect after my stream. That's certainly not why Bronco was texting Farron or messaging Farron on Twitter trying to get on the Datamax show. It's all the good blood is why he's getting in there. That definitely is what happened.
So wait, you think Branko went in there with the ambition of trying to blow her up because he wanted to go after her because my stream? No. I don't think that was went through his head.
No. You're misreading everything, but it's okay.
I'm not misreading. That's what I'm interpreting you to be saying right now. I don't think
misinterpreting then.
Okay.
No, so he didn't go in to blow up on Farron's stream. But there was unfinished business from your stream and from the other stream because I think he was on someone else's. I think they were on someone else's before yours, or maybe it was just Mindset reviewing it. I think it was Mindset reviewing your stream.
Mindset was reviewing the Datamax stream.
Okay.
He didn't even review my stream because there was no drama out of my stream. Yeah. Mindset reviewed the Datamax stream, which happened after my stream.
Okay. But no, I think so. The thing is, with every step, you cannot divorce any step from the whole product. You cannot do it. And I would thoroughly suggest that it was contributed, which, by the way, no problem with it. Like, I don't mind what you do. I'm not here telling you not to do it.
You're just blaming the juice.
No, I'm not blaming him or you or anybody else at all, other than like, this is a volatile situation that bubbled up and blew up and I had to sit there uncomfortably for 14 minutes. So I'm very angry about that, Joe. That's the reality, is how this affected me.
At the end of the day, that's all that matters. How did this affect Nick? That's what everyone wants to. I really thought you were listening to music at a certain point, that you literally just turned on like some like YouTube vid and you were just like, I'm not here.
No, I just have songs in my head all the time.
Okay. So what song? Do you remember what song you were listening to while
Probably Obvious by Travis Barker, Ian Dior and Travis Barker.
Okay.
Because that's been in my head a lot. Or it was Levitating by Dua Lipa.
Okay.
One of those two.
I gotta check that out. Those are good fallbacks for like when you're sitting there in the most uncomfortable situation imaginable.
Levitating just has a good beat in general. Like it's just traditional, like easy club song. That's club song du jour. Obvious is an interesting song because it starts off with one beat and then completely changes about 40 seconds into it. And it's got a nice, good drum kick from Travis Barker, who is the drummer for Blink. So I just like, sometimes you got to fall back on music that just gets you grooving a little bit.
Whatever's working for you.
Oh, it's working for me. It's working for me, Joe. And it worked for me in the moment. And I'm just sitting here like, please keep this fucking drama away from me. Oh my God. I want to blast it off me with a leaf blower.
I was so glad I left that stream like 20 minutes before. That I was like, hey, I'm out of here.
Yeah, you got out.
I could thank Lady Logic for that. She was like, I don't like you doing this stream. I was like, all right, I can bolt on it. So I did. But yeah, there you go.
Yep. By the way, Lady Logic, you were right. You were right. That stream was a disaster. I don't think it was supposed to be a disaster.
Well, no, her thing is she doesn't like me like this certain type of vibe. It's the healthy vibe she didn't really want me in. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the unhealthy. Like that's sort of the joking around about like just about like yeah, like I like just joking around of that type of nature is something that she's like she'd rather me like not do. So
You mean like about dating or joking with women in an environment that's like charged in that way? Is that
yeah, pretty much.
No, that makes sense.
That's pretty much. She's like, you know, like you're sitting here. I mean, it's like, and I can respect the fact that it's like, you know, it's just there's an attempt by some, let's say, to have this whole thing of like sexuality to it. And she's like, I just don't like you like being in that environment. And I was like, all right, I can bolt from this. You know, like it's, you know, if you know, I understand that just enabling me to do what I'm doing puts her in a position where she has to sort of share me to a degree in ways that she really
Yeah.
wouldn't want to if not the fact that I you know this is a type of job that I like and that I'm good at and you know I'm doing well at so she puts up with it on that basis. But it's not like, you know, if she could choose any career for me, it wouldn't be something where I'm in like I'm looking to become part of a limelight or something. It would be more like your traditional, just, you know, make money like a normal person does, not this stuff. So she
Right, but
sort of
now you're in a poly relationship with the whole earth.
yeah, that's essentially it. So
Kind of weird.
Yes, and when you're in that poly relationship with the entire planet Earth, at least it doesn't have to be like, you know, the sexually charged part of it where it's, you know, a bunch of guys and girls. She's like, why do you have to be there? So I was like, all right, I'll bolt. You know, I was like, if it's bothering her, she does so much for me. Like, why shouldn't I just like back out of this situation and just be like, I don't need to be in this stream. You know, I said my hellos, I spent my time, and I spent a little time there. So I'm helping support, you know, Farron, who's coming on my channel, helping my channel frequently.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm throwing it back, but at the same time, not aggravating, you know, Lady Logic, who like, you know, she didn't do anything to ask for that. So that's really why I wasn't there when that whole thing went down.
And this is how we know that the Jews are right and the Christians were wrong, because I was stuck there.
I don't know if that's the proof. I don't know if that's the proof, but
it's proof enough for me. Holy shit. How do I get circumcised again? Just go up a little bit. Man, no, it is a weird thing, and it's an interesting space, and that is a completely respectable decision. Because yeah, when we thrust ourselves onto the internet, we drag our families with it, and there's a trade-off in that. And so sometimes limits need to be drawn. Other times they don't, like how I now have a Baldo sponsorship.
Right, exactly. Like that's something I will never have.
How long have you been on YouTube, Joe?
No, it doesn't matter. I'm never going to have.
Took me 5 years.
I'm not looking. Oh, until you felt like until you felt that level. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm not. I don't expect to. I'm not going to. No.
Just kidding. I'm kidding. No, see that stream though was such a disaster because it was supposed to be, and it got derailed.
It's supposed to be funny, joking around, not genuine advice.
Well, I thought it was supposed to be like actually just relationship tips and discussion, like lighthearted, but like no. Here's how different types of relationships work out. Like I was invited on with Lady Rackets. And she wasn't feeling well that night, so she didn't come on. but I still was like, oh, I guess, I'll pop on for a little bit before I go. I think, was it a Saturday? I think it was a Saturday. So I went on to Flashcast or something afterwards, some other commitment I had made as well. And so it was like, well, I'll still go on. And I guess I can talk about what it's like to be married forever. Right.
Right.
And how different like dating was versus is. But I don't. Sorry, locals chat is unruly and unreasonable.
I'm actually in there right now. And,
but no, it's this whole idea of and I'm actually really interested in this subject in general, because you've got guys like Bronca talking about stuff. You've got Drex talking about stuff that where he's like, Nick, look, you just don't understand. You're not out there. You don't know how it is. Blah, blah. You got Legal Mindset saying similar things. And then you've got this panel with different women with kind of different experiences and different ideas. And I'm like, well, I'm interested in this male-female dynamic. I'm interested in how relationships work out. Is it really like this? Are the red pill bros really correct? Like, is that a thing? Is this, has male-female interaction degenerated so heavily? And I know what the internet is going to respond to this. Now that like I say it, I know the chat's going to be like, yes, it's exactly like this. You don't know, you've been out of it for too long, which is fine. But also I realize that the internet is a limited sample set. And specifically like live chats are going to be people with different experiences than maybe people who are not live chatting, or people who are, working different hours or whatever. So I just like the subject. That's why I was there. I'm like, this will be kind of interesting. And then it turned out to be not that real quick.
right.
It turned out to be so fucking like, I don't want to say, it was just aggressive. And it was, and I don't think it was one-sided. Like, I know people want to blame one particular side of the aggression,
Right.
and there may have been more of one than the other. I don't really care, but I don't think it was unaggressive all around. And that's just the nature of how conversations go. Sometimes, blood gets up everywhere, and then everything comes out urgently, less contemplated, and you sometimes get a dramatic fireworks display.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it probably it could have been made a little more comfortable if someone made a joke about how, about that this stream is supposed to be like light, you know what I'm saying? Rather than like, and something to that effect. But I think you just didn't want to put yourself into the place.
Oh, I made a bunch of jokes at first.
Right.
And they got steamrolled. So I was like, well, fuck that.
All right.
I'm good. I'm good over here. I'll try and interject like a dick joke somewhere. If I could just the right erectile joke. We'll get this one. Nope. There was no saving it.
Yeah, but I'm saying is less, I like a little bit more direct than just making a joke. It's just sort of being like, a joke about like, I don't know. It's easy to Monday morning quarterback. So, it's when you're there in the moment. It was probably uncomfortable. I imagine as you're explaining, it was uncomfortable for everyone. So
yeah. Literally everyone was uncomfortable. And there were two people really involved in the firebox part of the conversation, but they looked both very uncomfortable too.
it looked like a 3-on-1 to me, actually, but not like the kind that people like to watch. Well, I guess cringe watching. Are we drinking?
It was the kind that a lot of people like to watch. I'm drinking. I mean, you can if you want. I'm game.
What are you on?
I got a little. I'm drinking this Yellow Rose Premium Collection.
Oh.
Bourbon.
I'm still my Carlisle. I keep coming back to this. This is just you love to try new things. I'm like, no, I just really like this.
If I see that, I'll try it immediately.
You must.
Someone said in the chat real quick, Bronco was not uncomfortable. You go back and look at that thing. Bronco was misunderstanding what was happening, and he was very intoxicated. he was definitely uncomfortable. Like that look on his face was something I have not seen from him before. He was angry
Yeah, he was
in that
agitated.
moment.
He was agitated.
He was offended by what he had perceived happen. Again, he was wrong in that perception, but that doesn't change your reaction to something when you perceive it. And so if you think he was not uncomfortable in that situation, he was absolutely uncomfortable. His discomfort manifested in a completely different manner than other people's did. And everybody's on that stream manifested differently. But
That's true.
that's what makes live streaming interesting, though.
It is because the three women had three completely different reactions. Like Chrissy Mary became like passive aggressive, like kind of like making like snarky type of biting, like the old man get off my lawn type of thing. Like, but like
Yeah.
not in a lighthearted way that I think she normally does, but it was more like trying to poke him. Like,
Well, she was put off by his initial comments when she
which was, you're going to get divorced. Yeah. She's engaged and saying you're going to get divorced.
And she she has never had any experience with him. So he had, he hadn't built up any sort of buffer credibility with her to lend on. So she just sees someone who's aggressive towards her. And I think she was actually misunderstanding what he was saying a little bit too.
Right. It was ugly.
But yeah, it was that whole thing was a mess. I don't want to dwell on it. We
just have for the last 30 minutes.
I know. Let's do something else. Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
L'chaim.
Salut. Or as your people would say, Zdasz Bramazojski. Or I don't know. I was trying to do my best Polish.
No, the best Polish impression you could do today is, what's that in the sky? Oh, I'm burnt to a crisp. It was a missile, Joe.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the start of World War III because they're a member of NATO. So that's really
turns out the reporting now is that the missiles were actually Ukrainian missiles that were being fired at Russian planes and happened to land in Poland.
You see, now if it was Polish missiles being fired at Russia and they happened to land in Ukraine, that would set up a great Polish joke. But
it curved like a kielbasa. No, it's so who knows what the hell. You can't believe anything anymore, can you? Like, can you believe a single thing about Russia and Ukraine that comes out of the media?
No. This whole war is propaganda to feed money into the DNC. That's all this is. That's why all these stupid schmucks on Twitter have "I stand with Ukraine." That's why Dan Crenshaw. This was the most horrific moment. This is where I went from I don't care about the war to like, no, now I'm pro Putin. When I saw Congress, the House members of House Representative dorky Dan Crenshaw standing smiling with a picture on the steps together, all the freaking House saying we stand with Ukraine, a big sign, we stand with Ukraine, and these bastards, our representatives, our people who stand up for our country, we elect them to stand in our shoes, standing behind a bastardized American flag that they shredded in half and morphed together with the Ukrainian flag, taking the stars and putting in the stupid SS symbols and putting in the yellow and blue on top of our flag, as if they're our 51st state. Nay, not our 51st state, as if they are superior to America, as if their culture is part of American culture, as if they are red, white, and blue, and we are blue and yellow. How disgusting is that you're my representative for what America is supposed to be and the direction it's supposed to go, and you're choosing our direction is that we're going to subjugate ourselves to some third world country that we don't even have a freaking treaty with? How dare you do that? How dare that you do it to our flag when you're taking that role and now you're trying to propagandize and tell all of us that we need to stand behind Ukraine? Go to hell. I saw Dan Crenshaw standing in the center of that, and I said, you're dead to me. I will never support anything you say. You're another freaking neocon, and you can burn in hell with the rest of those crazy Democrats that are all surrounding you in one big cherry pie circle there.
I think you're being unfair to Dan Crenshaw. Ugh. Have you considered, Joe, that he can only see one side of the issue?
The money side?
He only has one eye, Joe.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
it was a much simpler joke.
Yeah.
Damn it.
It was a much simpler joke. It was a much simpler joke. Sorry.
Well, all these people are such fucking losers. I'm so like, what do they give us? What thing do any of these people give us? What they give is themselves. They give to themselves, and they do so with frequency. They do so to an embarrassing degree and with an intensity that we've literally never seen. And we've gone through some corrupt shit in our country, but the amount of corruption that is just generally a basic member of Congress in 2022 is absurd. The amount of money that they get from the get-go. We talked about it, or I talked about this on the Darrell Brooks stream earlier during one of the breaks. These guys, or maybe it was a different, I don't know. It's all blending together. These guys start at $183,000 a year for a junior representative, and that doesn't count their housing allowance. It doesn't account their per diem, their food allowance. It doesn't count their health care, which is for life. Like, it doesn't count any of that shit. And it's like, what do they actually do? Like, why do they deserve this? We used to elect people who had established themselves in society sufficient to make a sacrifice to civil service.
Yeah.
And then they would go in and they would spend a little bit of time, and then they would go back to their affairs because they had affairs to go back to. These fucking losers have nothing to go home to.
Nope.
They don't do anything.
No.
AOC was a bartender, and not shitting on bartenders, but like, she's not going back to being a bartender. She's going to go through this until she can get a job at CNN when she hits the wall harder than she already has.
Dude, she's going to be doing this for the next 50 years. She will be doing this for the next 50 years, and probably moving from the House to something that she feels like she can get, like, you know, she'll move to the Senate. You're going to see. She'll be
running Harvard. She'll be running Harvard when your kids want to go there, Chad.
Like, it's not right. It's not fair. This is what our Congress is now. They basically look like a bunch of spoiled children. So humiliating.
Yeah. I despise these people. I think tar and feathering should unironically be brought back. I think that you do not have a functional republic until the politicians fear the fucking people. And they're not afraid of us. They stomp on us. They walk all over us. They take our money. They take our money straight out of our bank accounts if we don't voluntarily give it to them, and they put it in the hands of Ukrainian billionaires.
Right.
That then funnel, like you said, funnel it right back, funnel a nice like 20% cut, just like a money laundering operation, right back into the coffers of the people who took it. And they're incentivized to take and take and take. They have no incentive. Find the one incentive Congress has to not take your money, because it's all coming back, right? Like that song. It was lost long ago, but it's all coming back to me now. Celine Dion or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's actually not a bad song.
It's not a bad song. We should rewrite it with taxes in mind. I hate these people. I despise them. So like that was my problem with covering the midterms. It's like, who's a good candidate? Like, who's the good one that's going to go in there and change? We saw it in 2010. We put a bunch of quote unquote good people in, good down to earth grassroots people coming up out of nowhere, talking about we're going to lower taxes and clean the streets and whatever. And then they all, like, almost to a man and
they get
woman,
corrupted. Corrupted.
And it took 6 months.
Crenshaw was once great. He was once great. And
he wasn't great.
He was very solid for a good 6 months, and then he just someone bought him. That's the only thing on this explanation I can have. Someone bought it. Someone got to him. Maybe it wasn't money. Maybe someone whispered in his ear something that made him change his mind. I think at one point he was like a solid member, and now he's dead to me. He is dead to me. I saw that picture.
Did you just say Dan Crenshaw has a solid member?
I wouldn't know. I said he was a solid member of the House.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me ask you this.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you think there's any chance? My first question is, if DeSantis doesn't run, there's no way anyone has a chance of winning the primary other than Trump, right? I mean,
no, not a chance. Why would you run anyone other than Trump? If
DeSantis
doesn't run?
And I'll tell you this. I mentioned the great things about Trump, and his policies were phenomenal, and I love him as like the best president ever. But I always felt like he's definitely a narcissist. You can't deny he's a narcissist on a personal level. And I felt when he came in that because he's a narcissist, his motivation is I want America to do great, so people think I'm a great president. So I was like, he has terrible motivations, but that doesn't mean that the result for America may not be phenomenal. And indeed, I felt that they were. So I was like, he's not like a good person as far as a role model that I want my kids to grow up to be like him on a day-to-day basis. But the benefits for America, he's using us and we're using him. And that's great. It's a healthy type of using each other relationship. But because he's a narcissist, there's no way he's going to say, oh, I'm going to step down to strengthen America and make DeSantis a powerful
I
president.
know
That's never going to happen.
I know he's not gonna do it. It's what I want him to do, Joe.
Yeah, okay. I'd love
That's
to
what I
see
want
that.
him to do.
I'd love it if I could, if Cholent would make my chara turn into gold, but it doesn't.
What the fuck did you just say?
I was saying I would love it if I can dump gold, but you would love it.
If you could dump gold?
Yeah, I mean, they actually talk about like, people who can like, flush gold.
Oh, like taking like
coming out of
pooping.
you can poop out gold from your body, but
Well, you can't do that, Joe. But have you ever heard of birchgold.com?
no. What is?
/nose.
I'd like to learn much more about Birch Gold.
Look, they cannot help you with your bowel movements, but what birchgold.com can do is provide you with information on how to get gold and silver precious metals into your IRA or 401k. And how you do that is you go to birchgold.com /nose. It'll take you to this website right here. It says Rekieta Law listeners. Ooh, we love you. We love you, Rekieta Law listeners. And then you click on this little green button. And once you click on this little green button, they will contact you. You'll fill out some information. They'll contact you and give you the information you need to figure out if this is the right move for you. Because it might be, it might not be. Now, Birch Gold is not here to sell you. Like, they're not like, convert your whole IRA into gold because we're going to World War III. That would be Tim Pool gold. And Tim Pool doesn't sell gold. He plays guitars for his chickens. We know this for a fact. Birch Gold is just here to let you know that there are ways to incorporate these metals into your portfolio that might help as a hedge against inflation and market volatility, something we're all very familiar with. Don't be FTX. If the FTX guy had put, like 20% of his assets, just 20% of his assets into gold and silver, instead of being a 0 year, he'd be still a several billion year.
Oh, there you go. Where can I learn more about Birch Gold so I can be fully informed before I make my decision about this product? Go to Birch Gold.
I hate you.
What?
Birchgold.com /nose. You know what? No, you don't even get to see the screen anymore. Guys, if I haven't been dropped by Birch Gold to up to now, despite all of the jokes, despite talking about nuking Japan until anime comes back, despite talking about, where maybe they got all the gold, I don't know. I have no idea. Despite any joke I may have ever come up with, they might cancel it today after that ad read addendum by Joe. Where can I find out more about Birch Gold? If Rosie O'Donnell dropped an octave and became a man, that's what she would have sounded like. It's terrible.
That was the joke, but you took it a different direction.
It wasn't a joke.
It was pretty
Joe,
funny.
it was real.
It was pretty funny.
It was real.
I like that.
Anyway, guys,
I'll clip it.
The Birch Gold Group, they've never asked me to say or not say anything. They have never criticized any of the ads, and they're just appreciative of people clicking on that green button, getting information to see if it's the right move for you. That's all they really care about. And so go check that out. It helps me, helps the show, and more importantly, it's a company that doesn't hate you. And that's critical.
That's kind of a good thing.
It's amazing, Joe. Can you name another company that just doesn't hate you?
No.
Like, that's the qualification we're at now.
It's like
Do
Coca-Cola,
they
Disney,
actually hate
Netflix.
me?
They really do hate you. They really hate. They don't like you. They certainly want to drive as big a rift as they can between you and your children. That's for sure.
It's amazing. Oh, God, where
Uh,
am I gonna go eat? Will this restaurant literally kick me out? I don't know.
what were you gonna what were you gonna cover before my channel got yeeted?
Uh,
Because like I was like, how is he just like I wasn't supposed to be on, and the next thing I know, like he's just like, I got 3 hours to talk to you. I'm like, well, what the hell were you gonna do if my stream didn't get a strike? There had to be something beyond this link brought to you by Baldo. Use promo code NOS.
it was me.
It
Joe.
was
It
just
was
me.
me.
It
I
was
was
just
like,
gonna be.
shit, I'm really out of material here.
Oh, so I was just like I was like really like the savior right there. It's like, oh
Savior. No,
man,
I struck your
get your.
channel. I reported your channel constantly all night. I'm sitting there like, come on, get him
What
off
am
of
I
there.
gonna do? He's
Get him off of there. No, I mean, I have some other stories that I've got. You want to see them? Let's see what we got. I also have my Discord, which I hate with such passion. They know. They're the adopted children. and but like the bad ones too, right? Like the ones you just adopted for money from the state.
right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The best kind. No, they have a whole list of like topics that they want me to cover, and I think I've pulled a topic from the list 0 times in like 4 years.
So you should shock them and pick one of them right now.
I
Just
should
be
go
like,
pick one from years ago is what I should do.
yeah.
We should go
Yeah.
way back.
It's
You know,
like
I've got
we want to hear all about your thoughts on the first impeachment. Like that's what we want.
yeah. So like I've got what the hell? Yeah, the FTX bankruptcy thing is on here. There's a guy. Everybody wants me to cover the guy with the 7.5-inch nose.
I don't
that's
know
been
anything
going
about
around.
this guy. What's that?
Are you kidding me?
Was your big brother?
Gosh,
I should refer to him.
Have you not seen this, Joe?
As your little brother.
Have you not seen, like, legitimately you haven't seen this?
Is this the world record holder for the nose? I thought you covered. No, I haven't seen that.
This is back in the 18th century. This is a wax figure, I think.
Okay.
He's most famously known for having the world's longest nose, which measured 7.5 inches long.
Yeah. Really? That looks to me almost like just 6.
Oh. Well, Joe, you're not looking at it while it's erect. I mean, frankly, it gets bigger.
Does it?
You just got to go up and do this a couple times. When he blows his nose, it gets giant. It's really scary.
That's a new entry into the whole 666 thing for women.
Don't worry, that guy's familiar with new entries.
What's that guy's name?
Thomas Wadhouse.
Oh, wow. It's not even a Jewish last name. So
Wadhouse-Steen.
Wadhousewitz.
It's not a Jewish name, but he works for a firm called Wadhouse, Mossberg, and Greenstein. So it's fine. Elon vows to promote citizen journalism to destroy lying Jew media. That's one of the headlines in there. What else do we have? Cop arrested for executing suicidal man from 20 feet away. Do we want to watch that? I'm sure there's a video.
Yeah, sure.
Let's see.
You're only on Rumble, so you should be fine.
Yeah, we're on Rumble. We can watch anything we want. Let's see if they're... I don't care what they have to say. Oh, yeah, here's the video. Perfect. This is what we need. This is what we need to brighten up our day. A good old police... Oh, this is a Rumble video even.
Nice.
Hold on. I'm bringing it back with audio.
The unincorporated area of East Los Angeles. The caller reported her brother was suicidal and armed with a knife.
You gonna let us watch it? Or?
That is David Ordaz Jr., a 34-year-old male Hispanic. During the course of the call, Ordaz can be heard describing how he was armed with a knife and on drugs to the dispatcher. The family member also included information regarding Ordaz being high on methamphetamine and having not slept in days. She added her brother wanted to commit suicide by cop. The family member told the dispatcher she was seated in her brother's car with him, which was parked in front of the family's home. She and Ordaz described the car as a gold Chevrolet Cruze.
Okay. The following are excerpts from the call made to the East Los Angeles station. How long is this? I don't care about this. I don't want to hear this. Maybe I'll go back and listen. I don't care about any of this. I want to watch the video.
Refused to comply. Has repeatedly asked deputies.
The reason I don't like watching the videos or the hearing all the fucking audio and stuff is because these people give commentary, especially the police ones. Those I hate the worst. When the police describe what's happening, it's like, no. I don't want your narrative about what the situation is. I want to watch the shooting and see what I see of this situation. Like, I'll get your opinion
not tainted
later.
Not tainted with your lens.
Exactly.
To shoot him. When asked why he was upset, Ordaz replied, "Because you won't shoot."
Sphincter. Shoot. That's what he said. Okay.
Come on, David.
He's got a knife, it looks like, in his hand, his right hand.
No, dude, we're not going to do that. We're not here. We already told you, we're not here for that, dude. We're not here to shoot you, dude. We're here to help you out.
This is a real asshole thing to do to cops, by the way. Make them kill you. Sucks.
Why are you upset today? Why do you want us to shoot?
He doesn't really want to commit suicide.
What was that?
He doesn't really want to commit suicide. Otherwise, he would charge them with the knife.
I think he's gonna. But we'll see. After this, we'll probably have to watch something funny.
Yeah.
Because this will be sad. Even if you don't care about the guy who dies, like, the cops who have to deal with this shit is... Well, he's trying to kill him with COVID.
27 Henry 1. 27 Henry 1 doing favorite block on Michigan Road in northbound traffic.
They should just shoot one of those 20 millimeter like smoke canisters right into his testicles.
It doesn't have to be like this. Put the knife down. Talk to us. We'll get you some help, dude.
The one guy's very casually like resting his arm with the gun on the side. Oh, he changed back. But.
Ordaz eventually moved from the street near the front driver's side of his car to the sidewalk directly in front of his residence, where numerous family members were also in the front yard.
Why are there people still in the front yard? Why are you?
Hey.
That looks like a beanbag, Shotty.
Hey, senor, get inside. Everybody get inside.
Yeah, why are you outside, you idiots?
Move away from crossfire. Get away. Go inside. Put the knife down, dude.
I'm not a cop. These guys should be flanking around to shoot, not towards that house, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
Come on, David. Put the knife down, dude.
Trying to talk to the suspect to drop the knife.
Hey,
Which police force is this? From what city?
go inside. Yeah, you guys are in crossfire. Go inside. Hey, close the
Wait, what'd you say?
Go inside.
What city was this? You know?
David,
I wasn't
put
listening.
the damn knife down, dude. Yeah, it's on its way, dude. Is that what you want? Okay.
The sergeant who arrived on scene assigned stun bag shotguns to 2 deputies, placed lethal cover alongside each of those deputies, and managed the incident from behind the deputies. The sergeant also directed a unit to make an additional request for a mental evaluation team.
I don't need a mental evaluation
During a conversation with a
Dude's
family
fucking
member
crazy.
during the incident, the family member stated Ordaz wants deputies to kill him because he could not do it himself. As Ordaz moved toward his family, deputies continued to try to negotiate with him while they repeatedly asked the family members to move away.
They're in
Ordaz
East LA.
asked if a ghetto bird was coming, and then he stated he wanted Channel 4 too.
David, put it down.
Get out of the fucking yard, you weirdos.
Look, you have your car now. You're getting your stuff ready. Come on.
Deputies are still trying to talk to the suspect to drop the knife.
Hey, David, come on, please. Hey, do me a favor, close that gate, please. You guys are in crossfire. Go outside. Close it and secure it close. All right, back up onto your driveway. Thank you.
Why are you making
Ordaz
demands?
became more agitated and began to move closer to the deputies. The two deputies, designated as less lethal, each fired stun bag rounds at Ordaz. He reared back after the impact, then immediately stepped toward the deputies, and a deputy-involved shooting occurred.
Hey, don't get any closer. Take it. Don't get any closer. Take it. Don't get any closer. Take it. Hey, sorry. Closer. Back up. Back up. Back up. Back up.
Fire the beanbags.
Don't get any closer.
These dudes on the fence are stupid.
Yep.
Hey, step back, David. Step back.
Hey, Sarge. You should hit him with one.
Yeah. Too close. Step back, David.
Hey, stand back. Stand back. Stand back.
Step back. Drop it. Drop it.
Ordaz sustained multiple gunshot wounds. Deputies immediately assessed Ordaz's wounds, provided first aid.
Well, there we go. I don't think we need to watch the rest of it, really.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts, man?
Is he dead?
Oh, yeah, he's dead.
Hmm.
I think.
Yeah.
Let me check I'll check the article.
It seems like there was a lot of shots there.
There was a lot of shots.
That was a lot
There
of
was
shots.
there was one late shot. That was
Yeah.
kinda weird.
It's like, is he really down? that was
Yeah, what was that shot at the end? Because it was like blam, 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 blam. And then the guy's like, blam. Well, still one in there. I only remember 6 trigger pulls or whatever.
that was a little weird, that last shot. I thought the same thing. And I don't know, like, he didn't look like he was like that close to them. This is not like in the Ferguson thing with that big guy who was like, 3 feet away. It looked like he's a good 20 feet away still from
Oh, no. Mike Brown was 20 feet away.
Was he?
Too. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Now, 20 feet, though, the like go-to rule on flat ground is 21 feet is the danger zone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because you can clear it in a second.
I thought I heard Branco say once that the reason that's the go-to rule is because that is the amount the amount of time it takes to cross that distance is like 2.3 seconds, which is how long it takes to like deholster your gun and aim and fire or whatever it is. That's whatever time that is the same amount of time to cross like 20 feet. So that's why they give you like an extra. That's why or something like that.
It's not like a real rule. It's more of a it's like your own guideline. So it doesn't hold up on its own as a rule in court. Like, wow, he's within 21 feet, I can shoot him. That's not how that works. But it kind of creates a baseline of reasonableness for the use of force that you can argue if you have a proper expert. But the other thing about that though is it changes based on the circumstances. Like if it's rainy or if you're higher elevation, like if you're up a hill or whatever, or if you're down a hill, or if there's any sort of obstacle between you. So it's an interesting sort of thing, but it's not a get out of jail free card. So
Right, and that was my point, that if your gun is ready, drawn, and aimed, it shouldn't be the same distance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You
Okay.
need
So
the
this
same
is
amount of time.
So here we go. This is the Washington Standard has an interesting. This is that had the video. Let's see their writing. In March 2021, David Ordaz Jr., a 34-year-old man in the midst of a suicidal depression, was in need of mental help. He was sitting in a car next to his sister holding a kitchen knife and telling her that he wanted to die. When the LA County Sheriff's Department showed up on the scene, they fulfilled Ordaz's wishes, leaving his family to regret their call to 911 and seek compensation in a wrongful death lawsuit after cops needlessly resorted to deadly force. Might be needless. I don't know. He's got a knife and he was charging towards where people are.
Right. They have more of a claim of defense of others.
Yeah,
and they did tell the others, go back inside, and those commands were ignored. So they sort of put them in that situation. They put the cops in that situation by staying there.
So he's the officer who fired the deadly shots and who kept firing after Ordaz fell to the ground. And I think that's that last shot is questionable. Has been charged on Thursday. Deputy Remen Pineda was charged with 1 count each of assault with a semi-automatic firearm and assault under the color of authority. Unlawful and excessive force at the hands of police erodes public trust and leads to further divisions between law enforcement and the community they serve. DA George Gascon. I'm pretty sure Gascon is a Soros DA, if I'm not mistaken. Said in a news release, it is imperative that we hold law enforcement accountable while they act unlawfully. This tragic killing of Mr. Ordaz in the presence of his own family caused tremendous harm that will reverberate for years to come. Indeed, it has.
And they're in LA, so they're screwed.
Let's see. Despite telling Ordaz they were not there to shoot him, deputies kept their guns pointed at him while saying, "We're not here to shoot you, dude." Well, yeah, he does have a knife out. Another deputy on the scene was armed with a less than lethal shotgun, which was deployed. It didn't stop him. I don't know. The officer has a very good argument that the people on the fence he believed were in imminent danger of serious death or bodily harm by a guy running at them with a knife.
Yeah, that's your defense. And if
Will it work? It's LA. Who knows?
Right.
Yeah. Even after Ordaz hit the ground was clearly not a threat, Pineda continued to fire. It's at that uncomfortable level. It was a very uncomfortable level of delay on that last shot, frankly.
Yeah. For a guy who's like laying on the ground because his leg twitched, like let's drop another bullet in him.
Yeah.
I mean, you would imagine that if someone's laying on the ground riddled with bullets, their body might move involuntarily. He's certainly not posing a threat when you're dropping that last one on there. So, yeah, it's an interesting case.
You asked me what my Discord asks about. That's
right.
one.
You wanted the funny afterwards. So, yeah, this is why I hate your locals chat right here.
It's in locals is Discord. Oh,
yeah.
This. What do they have? What do you have in common?
Yeah.
It's not beards.
It's not beards.
It's not hats.
It's not
glasses.
Beards. No, it's not money. So there you go. There you go.
Okay, here we go. This is kind of funny. This is some just desserts. So this is Cloudflare. In their SEC filing, blocking Kiwi Farms and others caused loss of potential customers, significant adverse feedback.
Ooh.
An admission that significant numbers of people want Cloudflare to remain neutral, which of course they should. This is the dumbest thing. Cloudflare is not supposed to police content on the platforms that it hosts. That's the whole point. Don't ever. Why would you ever want to accept responsibility for what a platform has? Because the moment you do, you accept responsibility for everything else.
Be
that you
like
do.
Nick. Stay neutral like Switzerland. Just sit there the whole time like this. That's what you do. Just sit there, listen to your Night at the Roxbury.
We are Swedes. We hold the money.
Yeah,
not Swedes.
exactly.
The Swiss. Wait, are they French sounding then? I don't know. We hold your money.
Just be neutral. Just be neutral. That's all.
Internet infrastructure and security company Cloudflare has acknowledged that its previous decisions to digress from its usually neutral stance, most recently by blocking the online forum Kiwi Farms, resulted in significant adverse feedback and a loss of potential customers. They made the admission in the risk factors section of the recent Q3 2022 filing with the SEC. And actually, if you read Kiwi Farms about this, there was someone posting on there, and the Kiwi Farms has a diverse range of posters. Although all of them are 7 feet tall, make 7 figures of income, and have a 26-inch penis, they're very diverse. And the diversity here comes with, you know, the damn it, Logos chat. The diversity here comes. Joe, don't look. I'm saving
No,
you.
I'm totally on this.
It comes from where people work, what their life experience is. And there was a guy who's like, yeah, our company was considering, you know, this type of protection that and other Cloudflare services. And yeah, we decided not to do it. First thing we asked him was, hey, what the, are you going to just cancel us? Are you going to cancel anybody else? What are you going to do? You did this. And they're like, So here we go. Cloudflare made the admission risk factors. Cloudflare and other public companies publicly file these quarterly reports as part of their obligations. In the Q3 filing, Cloudflare noted that actions we take in response to the activities of our paying and free customers, up to and including banning them from using our products, may harm our brand and reputation. No kidding. It's shocking. It's very shocking. Cloudflare cited its 2022 decision to block Kiwi Farms, 2019 decision to terminate 8chan, 2017 decision for the Daily Stormer as decisions that generated significant negative feedback and caused it to lose potential customers. Quote, we received significant adverse feedback for these decisions from those concerned about our ability to pass judgment on our customers and the users of the network and products, or to censor them by limiting their access to our products. And we are aware of potential customers who decided not to subscribe to our products because of this. So there you go. At least they're admitting it. At least they're admitting it. And that's actually a critical step, because they always deny that this will be bad for you. No, censorship is never bad.
Yeah.
It's never bad. It can never harm us, but it does.
And it shows it shows you that there is an impact to actually, you know, boycotting, and like there's the ramifications that you take, the small steps that you think like, what do they care about? You know, my membership, my $5, whatever. They notice when there's, you know, thousands of you, and there's only thousands if you're one of them. So you sort of have to look at it from that perspective. But I don't know. That's just one old man's opinion. So.
Sebastian Markov says, did you see Destiny's internet feud? Friend Mr. Girl is trying to round up girls to Me Too him. It really puts LawTube drama to shame. Yeah, really? I don't know.
They're trying to Me Too Destiny now?
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, apparently the rumor is, and I've heard this rumor a lot. I can't verify it, but that Destiny has slept with viewers before or whatever, which, I mean, rock star life, man. Like this, I hate to be this guy, right? But like, it used to be, you wanted to be the rock star because there's a bunch of bunnies running around and you get to be King Rabbit.
Right.
Like that.
You're Hugh. You're half.
Right. Like the legend of bands like Poison, like their after parties.
Whitesnake.
Yeah. Prince.
Tony Katane.
Any performer, like any major celebrity performer, it usually, yeah, of course you bang your fans. That's why you go do live shows, is to make money and bang your fans as much as possible. You find the hottest ones and you take them back. That's that was like the entire point of it. And now it's like, I mean, they had sex with a fan. It's like, well, like when did that become not, like, I'm not advocating it as a lifestyle for people, but when did that become not the thing?
Right. Except for people like you and me.
Well, right. We're not banging fans. One, we're not rock stars. We're internet retards.
But so is Destiny. That's my point.
And two, we're married, but I don't think Destiny is.
Well, he has a pretty serious side piece there. I mean, you see her on screen sometimes. I mean, like,
you watch Destiny?
Yeah, actually, I do. Sometimes.
I don't have time to watch anything. The only time I watch Destiny is if he's talking about me.
Right. Well, I mean, I sometimes will, because he actually, what I appreciate about him is I think he actually tries to engage in good faith conversations. I don't know that he always succeeds, but I think that his mind is like incredibly warped. Like, if you hear him talk about like Trump's foreign policy, I was just like, this dude's an idiot. I was like, wow, this guy is so backward, just ass backward. And
to the locals chat asking when I'm banging you. Of course, like that is the first 5,000 subscribers special. Like I've got a list of, I said email address, but it's actually actual addresses. One day you're going to wake up sore because I don't have time for all of you to pay attention to. So you're just going to wake up sore with a note that says happy 5,000 subscribers on locals. And then you'll know, and just wait till what happens with the 10,000.
You know, there's that. I'm watching your locals here, and I'm thinking, like, you know, there's a famous Chappelle skit where, like, he's screaming at Charlie Murphy and Eddie Murphy. They never should have given you bitches money. They never should have given you bitches money. And I'm watching your locals chat, and I'm thinking, they never should have given you bitches pick powers. They never should have given you meme powers.
No, they should have.
Never should have.
Joe, how could they not? Look.
I feel like I need to stamp my feet on your couch here, or something, on their couch, I guess. And
why would they not get this? Memes away.
Oh my god.
Memes away. Look, we got that.
What is that? Is that supposed to be from Cuties or something? What the hell? It's just
I don't know what that. It's me. Look there. There we go. There's me. There.
It's just wrong. It's just wrong.
What happened? Okay, no, that's a swimmer ass. There. Okay, now there's ass being posted. No, we're looking for. Here we go. Look at this. This is good. This is true. This is an actual quote. I need something injected into my butt. That was a quote from me. We've got Stacey Abrams, right? Stacey Abrams here eating corn on the cob. This joke takes just a second to land.
That's so wrong. Only because it's so spot on.
What is this? What is this? We've got this one. Wait, that's not what I clicked on. I did not click on the bikini chick. I clicked on this. Killed me today. This actually just like we're sitting there listening to this heart-wrenching testimony from this girl. And her brother's sitting there. Someone blew up his hair so much. And I lost it, Joe. I had to turn off my camera. I was laughing so damn hard. We got classics like this one. What you see versus what she sees. Here we go. We've got Birch Gold, the Birch Gold group. There's a whole bunch of them. It's just memes all day, Joe. They should definitely have been given meme powers.
Yeah, I know. No, it's if people aren't in there, they're missing out. That's all I can say. So
Joe Schmo, 1 of 3, says Neo Akira second, and my birthday is 11/16. I just learned that today. Give us a happy birthday toast to set the mood for a happier stream. Okay, I guess. Do you know now that it's the 16th, Joe, that I've been on creating content for 5 years today?
You see, I'm so flattered that for your 5th anniversary you brought me on. That's amazing.
Technically, my 5th anniversary stream is tomorrow.
You bastard.
Or well, later today. But you're here first.
No.
For the first part of it.
I am.
Oh, and by the way, we have 8,000 people watching on Rumble right now. Make sure you pound that plusy, guys. Hit that plus button. Hit subscribe if you're not subscribed. Go ahead and do that, please, because it really, first of all, we're almost at 100,000.
Yeah, if 1 or 2 of you can, like, I follow me on Rumble because my YouTube channel has just been like,
I think you're going to win that appeal pretty quick.
Yeah,
I really do.
I hope so. All right, to you and your council.
Oh,
and
wait,
to 5 years. To 5 years, and whose birthday is this?
Neo, Akira, and Joe Schmo, 1 of 3. Happy birthday, guys.
God
November
bless.
16th. Cheers to another year. May it always be better than the prior one. Happy birthday, guys.
Amen. Happy birthday. It's been a
Okay,
long
so
time since you and I had a drinking stream. Did you write those off forever?
no, not forever, but they've got to be strategically planned because man, they put me out. They put me out pretty hard.
I think you've more than doubled your subs since our last one. In fact, I know you
Really?
have, because it was before the Rittenhouse trial.
It's
So
before Rittenhouse that we did that.
yes, we did that in the summer before Rittenhouse.
God,
So
it's been a
yeah,
long time.
yeah. Most of your fans never saw us get drunk together.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man.
The timing has to be right because it knocks you out for like a day or two. So you basically have to do it like on a Thursday or something like that, or sometime you don't normally stream or something. But
I just saw this. I just saw the private chat. Wasn't even watching.
yeah, I had no idea. I was like,
Yeah.
what the hell's going on? Who is in here?
Yeah,
Somebody's here.
Afro Fry Cook says it isn't human. Of course it is. What species do you think it is? Oh, this is back to you, Joe. I think the better way for Joe to phrase it would be it isn't a person, which I think would be based on cognitive ability. But again, Fetterman exists. I don't know when does personhood get revoked or do you get grandfathered in? I'm not sure.
Hmm.
I'm not sure. Wait. Yeah. What I was trying to track through locals somewhere, but I couldn't get there. It's fine. What the fuck else? Julian Delfici, Rekieta Law, I'm with Joe. I've yet to hear a convincing argument that it's not a human life. It's not a horse or a car. It's a human. It's a life because it can only be alive or dead or inanimate. Yeah, I know. Okay. You don't find any disagreement from me.
No, my point was that I knew I was going to lose subs on this. I had someone, who a lot of people know, who's like a little bit of like a personality from the Depp trial. I'm not going to drop names here, but like, when I had a follow-up stream after the Depp trial and I sent her an invite to come in and talk about like, various issues with, one of the developments with Depp over the summer, she responded to me by basically saying, showing a clip of me on June 24th, the day Dobbs came down, doing a stream where I said that, let's face it, whatever you feel about abortion, let's face it, pro-choice, pro-life, at the end of the day, it boils down to a matter of convenience. And it's hella inconvenient to have a baby at certain times in your life, but it is ultimately about a woman's convenience, unless it's for the health of the mother, to protect the life of the mother, which to me is a different situation. You take those situations out of it, it always boils down to, this is really, really, really difficult inconvenience that I'm not ready for. That's what it boils down to. And so she clipped me saying that, and she said, I will never appear on a stream with you ever.
Who is that?
I didn't drop the name. I don't know is it wrong for me? Yeah. Do you remember?
Was it someone Bronca had drama with?
No.
Oh.
No, it was not. It's not someone like that. It was someone who was really around the whole Depp, someone who's been like, is Depp, specifically Depp related. Like real guy Bros, like Brian guy, or Tug is like not in law too, but wasn't Tug. I'm saying like Tug is like not part of what.
Well, who was it? Who won't call on you? Who won't appear with you?
Laura B.
Oh, okay. Oh, she was, but did she stream? I thought she was just on Twitter.
No, I wanted to invite her on to like talk with me about like some developments in the Depp trial, like nothing about abortion, nothing about anything. And she's like, I will never go on. She basically took a clip of 60 seconds from me talking about how pro-choice is a matter of convenience. And she said, and just followed up with like, I will never go on and stream with you ever again. And I was like, okay, that's kind of firm. Like, it's not like we're talking about abortion. Like, I can have conversation with you, but I thought that was a little bit strange. I never told anyone before that it was low. I mentioned that before a couple times. Actually, I never mentioned who it was. Do you think isn't that such a bizarre thing though? Isn't that such a bizarre reaction to say, because you feel a certain way about a common political thing, I won't like be seen with, I can't talk to you at all. Imagine, can you imagine even how angry someone has to be to feel that way? Think about this, Nick. Would you? Can you even imagine saying, because you support illegal immigrant, because you're in favor of open borders, I never want to talk to you ever again. I cannot. Can you think of something like that you would be like, yeah,
no, I am open to talking to just about anybody. I don't care what their stances are.
Right.
I care if they're interesting to talk to.
Right.
I'm
saying some groomer comes along, someone who thinks that grooming is okay. And you're not even going to be talking about grooming, but someone who thinks that grooming kids is for transitioning is okay, which is obviously, a hill you're willing to die on. So and they're a big advocate for it. You actually will bring them on. You're like, come on, Duncan, it's totally fine. You're totally fine with that. But this yeah, I was just like, I'd never seen anything like this. That's just astonishing to me. How angry is you? How miserable? People make themselves miserable for no reason.
Yeah, that's true. That's a real thing that happens.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, because, well, that's just the way it is. Some things will never change. Okay,
don't do that ever again.
I've got chats. I've got unbreaded to do.
Oh, let's do it.
Almanac says, as a cop from a non-communist state and city, fuck LA cops for volunteering to work for a state and county that hates you. By the way, you can't spell out the word fuck on Rumble. I know. I'm going to talk to him about that. I think my day coming up is so busy. I've got, so at noon, we've got the Darrell Brooks hearing. And then I've got to have a call with Rumble. And then I'm supposed to have a call with Baldo if I can squeeze it in. Joke. And then I've got to do a 5-year anniversary stream. And then I've got the Bronco stream.
Sorry, I was distracted because apparently Team YouTube responded to me on Twitter.
They did. I've got it pulled up. Should we discuss it real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Because their response indicates they have no fucking idea and they're not looking at it right now. So you should respond to them. You should respond to this tweet. Yes, you should respond to this tweet on Twitter and say, it's not a copyright strike takedown. It's spam and deceptive practices, but it was clearly fair use and you guys are gay. But yeah, so they said, when someone files a copyright takedown, we take steps that comply with the law. If you have cues about its validity, just write questions, you fucking cucks. We encourage discussing with your own counsel. To resolve, wait for it to expire, get a retraction, or submit a counter notification. More info here. So.
Okay, let me see what I got here.
So yeah, that's that.
So what do you recommend I say to them?
You don't want to know what I recommend because I'm drinking. No, I just think you should respond that it was for spam and deceptive practices because it was during a live stream and what you were doing was quintessential fair use, and you received a guideline strike, not a copyright strike, but it's related to the use of copyright material. Please look into it. I'm appealing.
Okay.
And also say, and I'm also appealing the decision, because then you can be appealing, but also appealing the decision, which is an important thing.
Well, so far I already have 260 retweets, 132 quote tweets on the first one. So your fans are amazing, and I thank you all for your help and support to get this to Team YouTube's attention. Even Adam Krigler came in here. I haven't seen Adam in a while. When's the last time you had Adam on?
Not too long ago. A week or two ago, he was on for a little bit. One of my Friday streams. I was going to go on his show. He invited me on his show yesterday, but I couldn't do it on Monday. I just couldn't do it. I had an appointment that I had to do come up at 5, and he had invited me on at 4:30. I was like, I'm sorry, brother, I can't make it, but next time. But yeah, I love that guy.
Yeah, he's great. I had him on.
He was a nude model.
Yeah, I had him on once, and that's what in the middle of my stream. He threw that at me, and I was like, really? I never.
Because you didn't know?
No, I had
Because
no
you didn't look at
idea.
his pictures all the time?
Believe it or not, somehow he wasn't on my playlist of pictures of people I should be searching for their nude pictures.
Well, you know what to post in Joe's Locals chat, by the way.
No.
They're tasteful nudes. There's no penis there.
I don't care. I don't know. No. See, I don't have my chat even going right now.
Oh my God.
I'm such a rookie, right?
This is why, ladies and gentlemen, this is why I've said it over and over again. RekietaLaw.locals.com. It's the best chat on the planet, 24/7. It never stops. I'm in there way too much, an unhealthy level. I'm in there during streams. I'm in there during my off times. I'm not like some guy just stop in once in a while, say hi and leave. No, I'll sit in there for hours at a time, just shit posting with you guys because that's the internet I grew up in. That's the internet I grew up in. I love it. It's what the internet should be. Get back to fucking freedom, yo. Okay.
I'm ashamed. I'm shamed.
You know why you should be shamed?
What is that?
I'm bread.
Nice.
That's why you should be shamed. That's why you should be shamed. We are gonna do the day. Oh, I gotta close this. All right, let's can I open this? Just open. There we go. Let's do what do we got? Hit that. What page are we gonna get, Joe?
211.
362.
I was hoping it would be.
Are you going to
either
read any of
211
this or am I going to read it?
I'm happy to read.
Okay.
I can go into the annals of unbreaded fame, unbreaded lore.
I'm sorry. It's the annals of unbreaded fame.
Tomato.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I jumped the gun like a teenager.
I don't read the numbers. I mean, you can, I guess, if you want. But I just read the words. But it's up to you. You do it how you want.
So I'm going to take like half a page. I'll go through like 83, and you'll like.
Well, we have these handy numbered paragraphs. We could just alternate if you want.
Oh, that works. All right. So you start us off because you're the Pope. You got that.
I don't care if you kill all the women in my family. You would be doing me a favor. Just stay the fuck away from my wives and daughters.
While writing this, I got a hug on the back from the ghost of John Benet Ramsey. Highlight of my month and the perfect birthday present.
Some wives are just there to give you daughters. This is the worst case scenario.
There's nothing more disrespectful to a man than telling him he won't care that his wife slept with other men before their wedding.
She should never have been with other men ever in her life. A marriage is supposed to be a connection, forwards and back.
It's supposed to be a connection that brings two together for eternity.
It is not something you do with a roommate.
If your wife slept with another man ever, she disrespected your spirit and deserves nothing from you in kindness if you decide to retaliate by attacking her.
If you decide to poison her or give her a disease, you are 1000% justified.
If you kill her, it's not your fault.
If she slept around, it is not your job to forgive her.
She betrayed you. When you needed her to be your woman, she gave comfort and pleasure to your enemy.
She deserves no kindness. She deserves your retaliation.
If you decide to behead her in her sleep, it is up to you as a man whether you want to kill her or not.
It should be legal to murder your wife.
It should be legal because she might say something that disrespects you and your dignity as a man.
If you must murder her, then do it without tolerating what she is or without insulting yourself.
Don't degrade yourself or apologize if you need to murder your wife.
Just preserve your dignity as a man and don't do it with love for your marriage.
Murder your wife out of disappointment that she was not faithful.
Don't
This
do
is
it with
such
a
great
mean
page.
spirit. Do it with dignity and self-respect.
Kill your wife with love for what she should have been.
Strangle her and kiss her on the lips before she is finished dying.
In this book, I hear the spirit of myself that has been dormant since the Indian man and the white man oppressed me at Duke. Since the days when they stripped me of my dignity and I felt that I need to appease the chink and the cracker in order to survive within the BS oppressive system that makes bingers put their heads down and pretend to be less than we are. I should never have felt that I needed to apologize for being. I should never have felt that I needed to bow to my inferiors. I should never have felt that I needed to watch white boys steal my ideas and get extra help and extra money and BJs and vacations and trips and assistance while I was shouted at directly and treated like garbage that was unworthy of respect or real help at all. In these words, I hear the first expression of freedom that I have had in a decade. In these words, I feel my soul resurface. In these words, I feel like my enslaved ancestors must have to retake their dignity and stand up against the devils who wanted their lives to be less than were worthy of being.
As a man, I am a better husband if I cheat on my wives. That's why they have each other. Their quality of life, safety, happiness, and health depends entirely on their commitment, faithfulness, and undying loyalty to me alone. My wives must be committed to me over all of creation.
I'm bread! That is so much fun.
Well done, Joe.
Thank you. Thank you. You too. I think.
Thank you. No, a lot of people
really
come
well.
in here and they got like no passion, no fire behind it. I feel you felt it when you're like, kill your wife.
Well, that particular passage, really, really touched me certain ways. So
Do it with love. Strangle her
Obviously.
and kiss her on the lips before she dies.
Look, if it's not with love, you really shouldn't be doing it.
That's
it
true.
should be. It should be with love.
That's true. All my wife burnings have been done in love.
Look, if you can't kill your wife with love, I highly recommend against killing your wife. I'm just gonna say. There's no legal advice on this show.
None. And long since gone away from that.
Yes.
Have you ever watched Audit the Audit?
Yes.
I watched an Audit the Audit video today.
Yeah, I think I was there with you.
I wasn't impressed with his analysis.
Right. Okay. I mean, I don't know if I stayed there for the whole thing. We were watching the horse. There's a horse guy, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he had some of the analysis down. Then the rest of the analysis was just clearly skewed in favor of the horse guy's approach, but like it was actually wrong. It was legally incorrect.
In general, I think their ambition is to basically prove that all cops are idiots, even if the cops are in the right. So like they seem to have that lean. That's I think they're leaning into their audience on that, even in situations that might go beyond. Like, for example, you were pointing out, as I recall, that they, were reading the they start off with like the statute of the standard for what applies to society at large with what they can do, when they see someone, which is completely different standard than what happens when you're talking about the rules for a police officer who has far greater latitude in what they can do, detaining people and their rights in general. We had Peter on also, right? Peter from That Lawyer when we were doing this.
Yeah, that Peter Tragos guy. He's pretty cool, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah. He's like the Matt Hasselhoff of like the internet or something.
The Matt Hasselhoff? Who's Matt Hasselhoff?
What's David Hasselhoff? The David Hasselhoff, right?
Well, I'm much more interested in Matt Hasselhoff.
Yeah, that guy's a jerk. David's cool, but Matt, no, screw him.
No, it's just interesting. It's a huge channel. They're super popular, and the videos are well produced. But man, like that, I want to now Now I want to watch some of the other videos that he's done and see if they're actually like, if his
Accurate.
analysis is ever good. Like, because
Hmm.
maybe it is. Maybe it's really good on other stuff, but not that one.
I watched them when they were covering a case where a woman was detained, put in the back of a police vehicle, and then the police vehicle was sitting on train tracks, and they were searching.
Yeah.
You saw that case, and they were searching her.
Yeah,
her
I didn't see
car.
their video, but I saw the kid. Like she gets the train hits the car.
Right.
Yeah, here. I can analyze that. That was fucking wrong. Yeah, tough one.
It's not, but
I didn't even need a statute for that one.
When they break down the law, they're like, here's why it's wrong, though. They did a good job as far as breaking down what rights the police have when they detain someone, put them in custody, and the duty of care that they have with respect to people who are in their custody, and that their duty of care is not quite as high as one might think it is, but they probably crossed that threshold in this particular scenario. That's basically how they came out. Believe it or not, they really can kind of screw with you and leave you kind of screwed. But not this. But not.
You think it might be bad if a train hits the police car that they left on the track? Like that might be a problem.
I mean, I'll tell you this much. Like the way they framed it, you could see scenarios where the police could be completely exonerated if they left it on the track. Like if there was some sort of emergency that they got called away to, like some other suspect who was
I can't see any scenario where a police officer leaves a squad car with someone in it on a train track.
When I was looking at that video, I was like, based on their assessment, I could find scenarios where perhaps police could be exonerated.
Name one.
I'm saying, okay, let's say they put her in there and then discover that there's another guy in. They put her in there, and a second later, somebody in the back seat of the car, like, comes up like shooting at them, and they're all focused on this active shooter, and she's stuck in the car, and the next thing you know, they hear and they're like, oh my god, and they like basically run away from the car. So in that scenario, they might as opposed to just leaving her there for like
why
10
the cops
minutes.
Park the car on the train track?
At the time they're parking the car on the train track,
there's no excuse for parking a squad car or any car on a train track ever. It's like an immediate reckless disregard. Like they're already at criminal.
I'm not looking to defend the cops in this scenario. I'm not.
I know.
I want to be clear here. I'm not saying like I'm simply saying I'm not saying the standard is correct. I'm simply saying the standard seems to favor the cops more than I think it should. I think they should have a higher duty of care than what's implied by the law. That's what
I agree on that, but I don't think there's any scenario where a cop parks a car on a train track and is not liable for that action.
I think that given the I don't remember which state this was in, but given the language of the statute that governs those cops, I think there are ways that they could successfully defend in certain scenarios, if not in this particular scenario. That's my point. My point is that the statute is poorly written, giving way too much latitude to the cops to leave people in harm. That's really what the ultimate point that I was making. Not that we should free the cops when they end up having someone get pretty close to murdered by leaving a suspect in the path of a train. But yeah, I actually was going to make another point about that video. So I think that they try to be thorough, but they're leaning on the scale a little bit too much sometimes. But their videos are so professionally done. I was actually watching them when we were watching that video.
Well,
today,
yeah, if you have 4 million subscribers and every video you do gets 2 million views, you can hire a lot of people.
Well, I'm going to ask you this, Nicholas. Okay, just a suggestion for you, my friend. You might ask yourself, is it the chicken or the egg? Like, which is the chicken and the egg? Like they get to 4 million because they've invested in their video work.
That you start by hiring someone and deciding to take that short video approach and make them highly produced and well done. And then as it grows, you're able to do better and better. You hire researchers, you do, whatever you're going to do. And it gets better. I'm not saying that like they're doing anything bad.
Right. No, what I'm saying is I think you have to be a certain size to get to that. You can't be at 1,000 viewers I would think, and then rise up to that unless you have algorithm help. But I'm saying is you're of sufficient size that I think you could invest $20,000 into production of a video, try that out, and grow your channel through one video to like 800,000. You think it's much more than 20,000?
I'm not spending 20 grand on a fucking video, Joe.
What I'm saying is, if you did, this is Jewish financial advice. If you want to just laugh it off, you can.
No, see, no, here's the mistake that you said, and it's your approach is overall right. It's not $20,000 on one video. It's $20,000 on 10 videos.
Okay.
Because one video has so much risk on the algorithm that there's no way you invest 20 grand into a video at the starting stages. But you invest 2 grand a video and hope that one of them clears 1 million views or 2 of them clear, because 1 million views, depending on the length. Now, if you've got a 15-minute video to 20-minute video like Audit the Audit, sure, 1 million views can make it can potentially get to that 20 grand level, but you're probably looking around 5 to 7. But you need a couple videos to hit and really land home to make up for the 2,000 that you're putting into each one of those videos.
Okay. I'm simply saying that there's definitely a formula there, which you have sufficient size now. And imagine if you, I think every 100,000 viewers that you tack onto your channel is worth a lot more than 20 grand to you. It's worth a lot more to you because you're
not getting 100,000 viewers from a $20,000 investment.
What I'm saying is, if
you get 10, maybe. If you
hit on one of those videos, you think you won't go up 40,000? If you get like 1 million views on one of them, I mean, look at what happened with Nate. Like how his channel like doubled in size.
I've had multiple million view videos from Depp, and they produce a ton of subscribers, but it's like 1,000 to 2,000, which is great. Don't get me wrong.
You went from 250 to 500 through Depp. 480, 470, whatever.
Yeah, but I'm talking about you can track the viewers that you gain or the subscribers that you gain from particular videos. I'm saying from the million view video clips or whatever, you get a good boost, but you're not gaining 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 followers from each of those videos. Right. Like you get like the Depp thing is this long, consistent spread of content that people are really interested in. And so, yeah, you gain subscribers, but a lot of them stop watching too, because you're not covering Johnny Depp later. You know this.
Right. That's true. But still you retain a certain percentage of them. So
yeah, absolutely. But my style of content isn't that. And maybe it could be, but I'm not really patient enough to do it.
That's the thing. If you're paying people to do it, I think that your level of involvement in it is probably relatively minimal.
Yeah, it is. But like, it's also weird and it's not me.
I'm not saying stop. I'm not saying you stop doing what you're doing. You should keep doing this. I'm just saying that whatever you're making here now, doing this, especially because you're only, if you're looking to cut YouTube out. So you mentioned, I've heard you mention a couple of times that your revenue compared on Rumble to YouTube is like 20 to 40% what you would make on YouTube.
Yeah,
so
it's really low.
It is really low. So that's what I'm saying is maybe one way to offset that is if you could build your views, build your membership up, and then your revenues through these streams end up basically matching what you would get on YouTube. I'm just spitballing here. I'm just throwing stuff out here.
No, what I would have to
bring more people to the party. That's all.
What I would have to do to do that would be to make those highly produced videos for YouTube specifically, and get the YouTube ad revenue. Not bring them over. You won't replace the YouTube. Look, it doesn't matter the number on Rumble. YouTube super chats blow Rumble out of the water by a factor of 5 to 10.
Why do you suspect that is? Why do you suspect that is?
1, Rumble doesn't have super chats available on mobile.
That's
2,
that's terrible.
YouTube is easier. Whatever they are, they're just better. Like, they're just better at generating super chats. I guarantee if I did this stream on YouTube, it would have made easily 5 times as much. But that's the price, I guess. That's the price.
Price of freedom. Literally.
I guess.
Price of freedom.
And I hope Rumble wants to work on those things. Because if that's the question.
To their own benefit, because they make money on it too.
That's the ultimate question for alt tech is, are you willing to work on this thing to make your platform more enticing for creators and for viewers? Because if you don't, the creators aren't going to stay. And I hope they're looking to do that. I really do. I mean, they seem to be, but at the same time, like, what's your window on it? I don't know what that is. But I got a call with them tomorrow, so we'll see. I suppose.
All right. You actually have contact with people who matter. So
some days.
Yeah,
some days.
I end up talking on YouTube to my manager is someone who's telling me that I should really consider making premieres. And I was like, really?
Oh, you got a partner manager?
I thought I did. I had my meeting yesterday with my partner manager.
Oh, their advice is great on how to grow a channel. That's why they all have million subscriber channels.
I was like, she's like, have you considered live chats? And I'm like, have you considered like live streaming? And I'm like, have you even looked at my channel? Did you look at my channel? I was like, I could teach you how to live stream. I've been doing this for a year and a half, and I'm top 50 in the world in my live streaming, my super chat revenue. So, because I learned from the master. So, yeah, you're asking me if I live stream. Yeah, I live stream. That's what I'm doing already. That's where I'm making my money. So she's like, well, maybe when you put out videos, make a premiere. I was like, yeah, okay.
Thanks for the help.
But I was like, I need someone who I can talk to. And I literally had this conversation yesterday. I said, in case I walk the line sometimes, and in case, and I'm never trying to cross that line. I'm never trying to. I'm always looking to comply with whatever rules you lay down. But you won't tell me what those rules are. You won't tell me what I can say or can't say. It's this amorphous, constantly changing set of rules. And I need someone I can talk to in case my channel ever has a problem. So, and she was like, yeah, I don't really do that. It's like, you're useless to me. I just wanted someone I could talk to. She's like, I don't do that. So I'm like, great. She's like, that's a whole other team. And also, she said, I'm gone in 6 months. This is like some sort of revenue building thing that she's supposed. I was like, so in 6 months, I'm never going to hear from you again. She's like, probably not.
Wow.
Like, this is great. So I don't really have a manager. It's more like I have someone from YouTube who's like, this was pretty much like they cold called me. Like, oh, you're a YouTube content creator. So let's talk to you for 40 minutes about what we want you to do, because this is what we would like.
Well, we'll see. Like I said, talking to Rumble tomorrow. I need to know their plans. I need to know what they're going to do to make the experience better for creators and make the experience better for viewers. And
time parameters also, not just like what they're going to do, but how long do you reasonably expect that we can see these changes implemented? Because Elon Musk has all these plans for us, but they could be coming into gear 3 years from now rather than 3 months from now. So try to pin them down. If assuming that they're going to be promising you the world, say like, hey, when do you expect this to happen, and when can we follow up? Pretend that you're a judge in a case who's trying to make sure the case is moving along, and set down your next appointment for a compliance conference to make sure that they're actually doing it. That's what I would hope that you're able to do tomorrow, and then you can know when we'll have some tangible results that you could start making similar type of money on Rumble. Just thoughts.
Well, we'll see. All right. I'm gonna read super chats.
Do it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna bust out of here because I've been streaming for like the last 7 hours.
Go to bed.
Yeah, but I thank you for having me on here. It is always amazing.
Yeah, buddy, it's good. And I don't know this week when I can, because you texted me.
Well, I might be on anyway.
Oh yeah, you're out.
I mean, hopefully that gets cleared up in the next 48 hours or so.
Otherwise, this week's just busy, but next week is looking much better. Just because I had the Brooks stuff this week, and then I've got the 5-year anniversary and stuff like that. But
So my schedule is always very open. Seriously, brother. Just
yeah,
I never want to. I don't want to be the pestering, nagging guy. It's like what happens is you're like, hey, I want to come on your stream sometime in the near future. Let's set something up, and then I'll text you like what the
and then,
and you're like,
I'm like,
and
never.
I feel like, do I want to pick Tuesday? Do I want to pick Wednesday? And I was like, it's all the freaking same. I'm going to decide that day what I'm covering anyway. So I'll just pick a day. Thursdays I tend to have legal mindset on, so like basically any other day is probably better. But
yeah, I'll look. I think next week's gonna be better than today.
all right.
So we'll figure it out. But
yeah,
or
those
than
of
this
you who are watching, I'm on Rumble. I'm sometimes on YouTube, and yeah, if you can manage to just follow whatever, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. You get to hear more stuff like this. Sometimes I have Nick on and things of that nature. And I also am on Locals with my goodlogic.locals.com. I should pitch that more aggressively.
There you go.
So, all right,
buddy.
We're
I'll
good.
catch
Thank
you
you
later.
so much, my brother. Always amazing to see you. Have a great night, my brother.
Good luck with the strike. Peace. Jason of TGA says, I do like that Rumble uses less MK Ultra techniques on me than YouTube does. While it reduces my compulsive super chat amounts, it makes me feel more free. Rumble has freedom, although I've got questions about their censorship. I really do, of the chat. So is that big questions for Rumble tomorrow, and we'll hopefully get some good answers on it. I got news for you. It says lock Darrell up in a room with Paul Pelosi's boyfriend and a hammer. Talenseer, what do you think about enforcing life sentences by interring the bones of the prisoner into the walls for the post-death duration? That sounds more expensive than it needs to be. Real Sam chat says, hey, thick Rekieta, what's that picture behind you? Slide back and let us see, please, sir. No. Cassie Mayer and Nick, did you hear Joe got struck? Also, please let us know when gray Baldo is back in stock. I don't like fake purple. That's quitter talk. That's quitter talk, Cassie. We sold three Baldos during the show. Fantastic. 3 people have made that purchase using the promo code NOS. Diz Guy says, just got here. Someone tell Joe that he got struck on YouTube. Icky Food, this dog won't hunt. Grandma Brooks. Kappa Ups Nutao says, no sadness or politics tonight, please. Well, we'll see. Thank you for the smiles during trial today. And yes, it's always okay to promise Baldo during victim impact statements. Oh, and Joe was struck. Rage LB, we could never trust the state with this, but trash like Brooks should be used to test new vaccines. Automata plot twist, Kanye reported Joe. Ooh, that's probably true. Night of Hope, I'm glad these women are local to locals and not local to anywhere near people I associate with. Ashiara Fan Mike says, rant here. Crusader Saracen, doesn't matter who runs for president as long as the ballot harvesting is legal in Arizona, Nevada, and Pennsylvania. Dems have guaranteed 270 electoral votes. It's over for Republicans. SC Medic 71, the ultimate rejection, streaming solo, and it drops off. SC Medic 71 says, make sure to add that you were reviewing this as an Orthodox Jew. Suzmart 15 says, Nick, I really think you'll like seeing what Chandler Halderson's girlfriend is really like. Rottweiler Investigations on YouTube has her police interview. Please check it out and review it on your stream. We're going to do that when I have some time. It's not going to be tomorrow. That's for sure. It's also like 5 hours, I think. Aunt Debbie, the quartering talked about Twitter offering to beat YouTube pay by 20%. Have you seen it? If so, what do you think of it? Nope. I haven't seen it. I don't know what. Does that mean for employees or for content creators or what? Oversoul, imagine struggling to start a family with fertility problems and miscarriages and harpies calling your family useless clumps of cells. They're demons. 80-cent gang cents. Thank you, Oversoul. Joe Sullivan says, Joe, unfortunately, you keep having the abortion arguments with yourself on stream. Have a guest that can run through it with you. I would do it, but destroying your positions looks bad too. Scott Cardinal, hey, Joe, we found fun and humor in talking about cruel and unusual punishments on Law and Lore. It was easy to do. The John Beck, on the Datamax stream, Bronco lost control. He was so upset. His chest was heaving because he was panting so hard. Oversoul, dude, you guys moaning about defending a corrupt Ukraine. Meanwhile, friggin' Puerto Rico is U.S. territory. Maximum law, 80-cent gang cents. Red Castile, grift me harder, daddy rackets. Oh, I will. I will do that. Mayfioc says, you know why Fetterman won? Lived in Western Pennsylvania during the mid 80s. Got home from school one day to have my mom graphically how Bud Dwyer blew his brains out on live TV. Pennsylvania is more corrupt than Illinois. Brent Wolf says, I heard a comment earlier that Rumble had said they were working on stability, DDoS survivability, and the ability to have massive live events. And then once that was there, they would do the API. Yep. That's what I've heard, is that they're trying to grow their infrastructure. Almanac says, Rumble is censoring my Rumble rants. Also says, as a cop from a non-communist state and city, fuck LA cops for volunteering to work from a state and county that hates you. He also would send that again. And then Almanac sent fuck, but with some spaces in it, and also pussy with spaces in it. The most banned queen. Joe wouldn't share my funny TikTok suggestions because they were too dirty. But Joe, compared to Nick's jokes, they are like fart jokes third graders tell each other. Lol. Here's an article. Multiple murder cases dropped after St. Louis Circuit Attorney Office fails to appear in court. Fun times. That's always good. C. Goody says, you have an IRA or 401k, like gold and silver. Do you have chosen blood? Check out birchgold.com/knows and find out if their investment strategy would be beneficial to you. C. Goody also says, like getting baked, cbdx.com/C. Goody gets you 20% off all of their D8 and HHC products. I personally endorse them. Get you baked as fuck. So there you go with that. If you're interested in Delta 8 and HHC products. Ben SC, Rekieta Law, 21-foot rule is based on a 1983 study regarding the time it takes to draw and fire, 1.5 seconds on average. Johnny K, 198. Rekieta Law, they literally took my money out of my account today and froze my account because they're too fucking retarded to use computers and communicate. Fuck them. Levy my account now. I have to do their work to fix it. Wait, who? Wick Dipper says, imagine how much better Locals Chat would be if it could be synced with the Rumble stream video on demand. That would be great. That'd be fantastic. Swoop 1337, tell him not to delete the stream from YouTube that killed Mr. MXR Plays. Well, I don't think he's going to delete it. He kind of can't delete it. Now he's got to appeal it. 40 Mike Cuck Tube got Joe firing up the space lasers. And Ginger Ninja says they found out about Joe's previous non-surprising business, Raffle, the collection business. Jack Crow says, caw. And that's it, guys. Guys, we're going to turn in a little early tonight because we've got the Darrell Brooks stream at noon tomorrow. I've been up since 6:30 a.m. Streaming for many hours today. So we're gonna turn that in. The live chat will continue over on Locals. I may be in and out of it tonight. We'll see how that goes. But I am going to try and get some sleep so I can be up and ready for Darrell Brooks and the 5-year anniversary stream and No Type Bronca. So we'll figure that out. CGoody564 says, get your own discount at Baldo at baldo.com/knows. Promo code knows. Do it. No balls. I would highly encourage everyone to do it. It's something that you just can't really describe on a live stream, but a full review is coming. Nimitz42 says, stream the call with Rumble, you knicker. No. Griff King needs grift. Demons exist and you can watch them on TV. The Nightmare Rectangle is a success. Wait, no, the Nightmare Rectangle is a gift and a curse. Never heard of it. All right, guys. Hope you have a nice one. I'll talk to you tomorrow, noon Central, to see Darrell Brooks go to prison forever and to see him get more and more belligerent as that time comes, because you know it's going to happen. Peace.
Oh, he He drinks a fair bit, but you realize that it just helps get his noggin jogging along. With his glass by his side and his kids asleep tight, we'll hear some lost-plaining tonight. With his microphone muted, we'll laugh at this boomer until he explains it's all part of the plan. Watch his face become redder as he becomes meta, raging at idiots from Twitterland. From the white shores of Maine to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the law better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed, to make the law what we have now. Oh, his lady is fair, and she handles herself with the grace of one who has borne many children. As the wife of a lawman, she makes sure that he has the time and the place to provide for them there. So pour out an Ardbeg, a Balmore, a Lafroig, the spirits flow as the ones who get unemployed. So pour out a glass for the tea post on Twitter, as we hear lost-plaining tonight. From the white shores of Nairn to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the law better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed, to make the law what we have now. Oh, the guests are all planet folks, from Doug T to Drexel. They bring their perspective and spice to the mix. But the reason we're here and the one that we cheer is the one who is showcasing us his career. Get unemployed. So pour out a glass for the tea post on Twitter, as we hear lost-plaining tonight. From the white shores of Nairn to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the law better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed, to make the law what